In the Qin family of Linshui City, the family elders were intently watching Qin Changkong's martial soul awakening process. He was extremely focused, and then, the figure of a mighty white tiger appeared on the martial stage. The sharp-eyed elders immediately recognized it. Those were 5 golden rays, symbolizing a yellow-grade 5th-rank beast martial soul. Qin Changkong stood up proudly amidst the cheers, just like that, after awakening. He had become the newly emerged supreme genius of the Qin family. Qin Changkong let out a satisfied smile, and then thought to himself, "Haha, I've awakened a yellow-grade 5th-rank martial soul. I am the true #1 genius of the Qin family. Qin Nan is nothing. And this young man named Qin Nan is our protagonist." After Qin Changkong, he was the next to step forward for the martial soul awakening ceremony. The family members looked at Qin Nan and couldn't help but speculate what kind of martial soul the young master would awaken this time, because everyone knew that Qin Nan's talent was far greater than Qin Changkong's. By a lot, Qin Nan was a bit nervous. The day had finally come. He sat down cross-legged and began to concentrate. On awakening his martial soul, a family elder immediately shouted, telling the servants to be quiet to maintain the silence and avoid disturbing Qin Nan's awakening process. Seeing the elder's dramatic display, Qin Changkong snorted coldly. He was extremely confident in the yellow-grade 5th-rank martial soul he had just awakened, believing it was something difficult to surpass. Besides, a martial soul is determined by the heavens, not by human effort. Seeing his arrogance, the family servants dared not say another word and could only wait in silence. Meanwhile, Qin Changkong secretly prayed for Qin Nan to awaken a martial soul of a lower grade than his own yellow-grade 5th rank martial soul, and as if his plea was answered by the heavens, after a short while, from where Qin Nan was sitting, only a single golden ray of light appeared, a stark contrast to the spectacular scene when Qin Changkong awakened his power. Qin Nan had successfully awakened, but it was only a yellow-grade 1st-rank martial soul. This news was truly shocking to the entire Qin family, but it wasn't outside of Qin Nan's own expectations. He had known all along that he would awaken the yellow-grade 1st-rank martial soul, the crimson flame saber. Qin Changkong's sharp laughter suddenly rang out, shattering the silence. He looked towards Qin Nan, his eyes filled with glee, and then shouted, "Qin Nan, who would have thought you'd awaken a yellow-grade 1st-rank martial soul? Some genius you are. Today everyone has seen it clearly. You're nothing but utter trash. While I am the #1 genius of the Qin family, the #1 genius of Linshui City, however, his arrogance did have some basis. Because a yellow-grade 1st-rank martial soul is the lowest of all ranks, and can even be called a trash martial soul, the vast majority of people who awaken a martial soul get a yellow-grade sunken rank or higher. But today, Qin Nan had truly astonished everyone, as his martial soul was the absolute worst kind. Many members of the Qin family quickly turned on him, feeling they had wasted their support on Qin Nan. He wasn't a genius at all, but just a piece of trash with the lowest grade martial soul. And so, the crowd grew furious. One insult after another was hurled, gradually building into a wave of voices demanding he be kicked out of the Qin family. Meanwhile, the 2 Qin family elders still hadn't recovered from the shock. Even though they had seen it with their own eyes, they couldn't accept the fact that their Qin family's #1 genius was nothing but trash. Seeing how agitated everyone was, Qin Changkong decided to add more fuel to the fire. "I've said it before, everyone's martial soul is predetermined. No matter how powerful a martial skill you can create, with a low-grade martial soul, you're still just trash. Isn't that right?" Coming from someone who had just awakened a high-grade martial soul, his words carried weight, and the crowd quickly sided with him, switching their support to Qin Changkong, declaring him the one and only young master of the Qin family from now on. As for Qin Nan, he was no longer worthy of the title. "Young master, make Qin Nan get out of the Qin family." Another uproar erupted, and just like that, the news that the #1 genius, Qin Nan, had awakened a yellow-grade 1st-rank martial soul quickly spread throughout Linshui City. At first, many people were still couldn't believe it. After all, Qin Nan had once been deemed a young genius by a powerful martial king expert. Meanwhile, at the Qin family compound, after the awakening, Qin Nan persisted with his cultivation. The path of cultivation consists of 10 major realms, and the first is called the body-tempering realm. The so-called body-tempering realm involves absorbing spiritual energy to temper one's body. It was then that Qin Nan truly realized just how important a martial soul's rank was. He thought to himself, if someone like Qin Changkong cultivated for 3 hours like I normally do, he would probably already break through to the first level of the body-tempering realm. But luckily, I awakened a yellow-grade 1st-rank martial soul. If it had been any other rank, I'm afraid I would have been truly troubled. It seems this lowest grade martial soul, which made everyone see Qin Nan as trash, actually held a profound meaning for him that outsiders couldn't understand. It turned out that sometime in the past, he had started going out to cultivate. One day, Qin Nan suddenly encountered bizarre weather and was struck by a bolt of red lightning, and after surviving this ordeal, another martial soul, called the War God Soul, appeared within his body. To obtain the War God Soul, one must sacrifice their own original martial soul. Furthermore, if one's own martial soul was of too high a rank, the probability of awakening the War God Soul would actually be smaller. However, if the martial soul's rank was yellow grade first rank, the success rate for awakening the War God Soul was 100%. This was the exact reason why, when everyone was calling Qin Nan trash, he was actually happy and satisfied. Now the time for the sacrifice had finally arrived. Qin Nan focused all of his power and summoned the Crimson Flame Saber. Then, without the slightest hesitation, he sacrificed his yellow grade first rank martial soul. The Crimson Flame Saber erupted in flames, transforming into a surging torrent of magma that flowed back into his body. The process was incredibly painful, causing Qin Nan's entire body to tremble uncontrollably. Once the magma had completely fused into his body, the War God Soul was truly awakened, and at that moment, an utterly exhausted Qin Nan collapsed to the ground. An unknown amount of time later, Qin Nan finally awoke with a heavy head. All around him, there seemed to be many strange sounds, sounding incredibly terrifying, but Qin Nan had no time to worry about what those sounds were, because first things first, he wanted to check on his War God Soul, and so, Qin Nan sat down cross-legged on the ground once more, then summoned his War God Soul. A massive entity with long white hair and majestic red battle armor appeared. Qin Nan was absolutely astonished. This was a yellow grade 6th rank martial soul. The War God's soul certainly didn't disappoint him. Next, Qin Nan checked the cultivation efficiency of this War God soul, and he was even more astonished, because his cultivation speed had increased to a terrifying degree, compared to the yellow grade 1st rank martial soul. His previous Crimson Flame Saber, this new speed was at least 10 times faster. Just like that, a mere 3 hours later, Qin Nan's cultivation broke through to the first level of the body tempering realm. He was incredibly satisfied. The War God's soul truly granted him an extraordinary power. With this in his possession, his dream of becoming a martial artist standing at the pinnacle of glory was absolutely not impossible. The next morning, just as the sun rose, Qin Nan's maidservant, Xiao Qin, pushed open the door to his room, carrying his monthly allowance. The moment Qin Nan saw what was in her hand, his eyes lit up, and he lunged forward. All right, quick, let me have one." What Qin Nan was clearly reaching for was the bottle of pills in Xiao Qin's hand, but somehow, she completely misunderstood, and threw the entire bottle of pills, then screamed and ran away. "Young master, you lecher, you're disgusting," an innocent Qin Nan shouted after her. "Xiao Qin, you've got it all wrong. I said I wanted to take a pill, not take a bite out of you," but Xiao Qin was already long gone. Qin Nan couldn't be bothered with her anymore, and opened the newly delivered bottle of pills. A medicinal aroma quickly filled the room. Inside were about 10 small pills, each about the size of a soybean. Qin Nan hadn't expected that even after becoming the trash of the Qin family, he would still receive such treatment. These were body-tempering pills, specially used by cultivators of the body-tempering realm, and they were incredibly precious. Ordinary Qin family disciples only received 1 pill per month, while Qin Nan, in front of numerous family members, Qin Nan had awakened a yellow grade 1st rank martial soul, turning from a genius into trash. Theoretically, the family elders would definitely not have given him so many body-tempering pills. Qin Nan could only think of one reason, which was that his father had been secretly favoring him all this time. His father had always placed such high hopes on and cared so much for Qin Nan, which made Qin Nan promise himself that he would absolutely not let him down. As soon as he swallowed the first body-tempering pill, a strange phenomenon quickly occurred. The spiritual energy of the pill was suddenly absorbed by an unknown force. Qin Nan guessed that it was the War God Soul, so he tried another pill and the same thing happened. It was indeed the War God Soul. Absorbing the power of the spiritual medicine, Qin Nan was a bit hesitant at first, but then he decided to give all the spiritual medicine to the War God Soul. Screw it, he wanted to see what would happen, so Qin Nan swallowed all the remaining pills, and his body began to burn with intense heat. As for his War God Soul, after consuming all the spiritual pills, it upgraded its rank all by itself, which was simply absurd. This was because, just as Qin Changkong had said before, a martial soul is a gift from the heavens. Once awakened, it stays with you for life, and its rank cannot be changed. And yet, his war god soul could automatically upgrade its rank by consuming pills, which meant that, as long as it was supplied with enough pills, Qin Nan's war god soul could advance endlessly, even reaching the Xuan grade, the Earth grade, and then the legendary Heaven grade. His eyes lit up like headlights, and his mouth stretched into a grin from ear to ear, as Qin Nan tried to contain his joy. He needed to remain absolutely calm. This kind of information could not be revealed. Just as he had that thought, the door to his courtyard was kicked open with a loud bang. Then, Qin Nan heard someone shout his name. Qin Nan, get your ass out here, or don't blame me for disregarding our past relationship. At first, he thought it was Qin Changkong coming to cause trouble, but unexpectedly, it was Qin Jiao. Qin Nan already knew he wasn't here for anything good. But he asked as a formality anyway. Qin Jiao, what do you want with me? My purpose for coming here today is very simple, Qin Jiao replied. Then demanded that Qin Nan hand over the body-tempering pills. Qin Nan, don't blame your brother for being heartless. But you're just a piece of trash now. The body-tempering pills are completely useless to you. You might as well give them to me. This Qin Jiao had previously awakened a yellow grade 3rd rank, green ape sword martial soul, which compared to Qin Changkong's, was 2 ranks lower, but his penchant for causing trouble was no less severe. Hearing the other's arrogant tone, Qin Nan was clearly displeased and replied, and what if I don't? His heart filled with contempt. Qin Nan felt that this Qin Jiao was a truly petty person. Back when he was hailed as the Qin family's genius, this Qin Jiao was like a little dog, following him around all day and sucking up to him. Unexpectedly, after finding out Qin Nan had become trash, Qin Jiao immediately turned on him, and now he even came here to rob him of his body-tempering pills. He was truly worse than an animal. Seeing that he had no intention of handing over the pills, Qin Jiao became even more outrageous. He began to show off his strength, then threatened Qin Nan, if you don't hand them over today, don't blame me for not being polite. Even though I don't have a cultivation base, yet, my martial soul is still a yellow grade 3rd rank. Qin Nan shrugged, feigning indifference, and then picked his nose, announcing that he had already used up all the pills. So now, even if he wanted to give them to Qin Jiao, he couldn't, unless he vomited them up. The other party was infuriated by this indifferent attitude of Qin Nan's and Roard. Do you still think you're the #1 genius of the Qin family? Qin Nan, get a grip. You're just a piece of trash now. Today, I'm going to show you the difference between a yellow grade 1st rank martial soul and a yellow grade 3rd rank martial soul, and just how huge the gap is. With that, Qin Jiao charged forward aggressively. Qin Nan hadn't intended to fight, but being pushed this far, he couldn't just stand there and take a beating. He immediately clenched his right hand into a fist, activated the low-level martial skill Ice Fist, and launched a powerful strike, knocking Qin Jiao backward, his entire body slamming heavily onto the ground. Looking utterly defeated and disheveled, Qin Jiao's eyes widened in disbelief, and he stammered repeatedly, how did you break through to the first layer of the body-tempering realm? You're clearly just a yellow grade 1st rank piece of trash. I have a yellow grade 3rd rank martial soul, and haven't even broken through yet. How could you? Get lost. Qin Nan was in no mood to answer his questions, coldly spitting out a single word. This Qin Jiao, although worse than an animal, at least knew when to back down, and fled without waiting for Qin Nan to say it a second time. Left alone in the courtyard, Qin Nan looked at the dilapidated, ruined gate, an indescribable feeling of unease rising within him. It seemed today's cultivation wouldn't go smoothly. Since he couldn't cultivate, he decided to visit the martial skill pavilion. This time, Qin Nan could finally enter the 2nd floor of the martial skill pavilion. The pavilion was where the Qin family stored their martial skills. Divided into a total of 4 floors, the first floor contained low-grade martial skills, the second floor held mid-grade skills, and the third floor had high-grade skills. And the fourth floor housed the highest-grade skills, which very few people could enter. Qin Nan opened the door and walked in with great confidence. The elder in charge of the martial skill pavilion was Elder Ying. Upon seeing him, he immediately asked, "Qin Nan, why are you here?" "Elder Ying, I want to enter the second floor of the martial skill pavilion," Qin Nan replied obediently. In response, Elder Ying frowned deeply and said, "The second floor of the martial skill pavilion. Qin Nan, don't think that just because this elder has a good relationship with you, I can let you enter the second floor. Anyone who wants to go up there must have reached the first layer of the body-tempering realm." Qin Nan didn't flinch and immediately revealed his true strength to Elder Ying. The elder's expression changed instantly, clearly showing his immense surprise. It made sense. A trash martial soul of the yellow grade 1st rank couldn't possibly break through so quickly. Qin Nan had no intention of explaining further. He simply walked past the elder and headed to the second floor. The treasury of mid-grade martial skills opened up before him. But before he could even look at the books, Qin Nan heard a sarcastic voice directed straight at him. Qin Nan, I never expected a piece of trash with a yellow-grade first-rank martial soul. As worthless as you could actually advance your cultivation to the first layer of the body tempering realm. It seems the family head forced 10 body tempering pills on you. The effect wasn't too bad, huh? Qin Nan didn't even need to look to know who owned that voice. It was Qin Yu, Qin Jiao's older brother, who had previously awakened a yellow-grade 4th-rank martial soul and was considered a genius in the Qin family. His arrogant demeanor was truly an eyesore. Qin Nan replied without any politeness, the effect of the body tempering pills really isn't bad. Just a moment ago, I used this body full of cultivation. To give your little brother a good beating, Qin Yu's brows furrowed in anger as he growled, you hit my brother. Qin Nan glanced at him and replied contemptuously, your brother disregarded our past relationship, kicked down my courtyard gate, insulted me, and even tried to steal my pills. Just beating him up was me showing mercy for old time's sake, otherwise, I would have crippled him for sure. Hearing these words, Qin Yu became even more furious and shouted. Good, what a good for old time's sake, Qin Nan, what's wrong with my brother taking your pills? You're such a piece of trash. Giving you body tempering pills is a complete waste. In contrast to Qin Yu, he just chuckled lightly, you and your brother are truly cut from the same cloth. Both are shameless and without integrity, utterly disgusting. He began to lose his composure, his pupils shrinking as he yelled. What did you say? Say that again if you dare. A smug smirk appeared on Qin Nan's lips. Can't you understand human language? I'm cursing you, you're worse than an animal, you dog. Enraged, Qin Yu raised his hand to execute a technique, you're courting death. Before he could unleash it, a wave of pressure descended, suppressing them both. Elder Ying's voice rang out as a reminder, fighting is strictly forbidden in the martial skill pavilion. He increased the pressure on Qin Yu, not forgetting to give him a stern warning. Qin Yu, if you dare to break the rules today, you will never set foot in the martial skill pavilion again for the rest of your life. His face contorted, furious with that decision. But he couldn't do anything. Qin Jiao suppressed his frustration, cupped his hands respectfully, and said resolutely, Elder, my apologies. This disciple will absolutely not break the rules of the martial skill pavilion. He glared menacingly at Qin Nan. Consider yourself lucky today. Next time, you'd better hope I don't run into you. Otherwise, I'll destroy your 4 limbs and your dantian, making you even more useless than trash. He fearlessly retorted with a cold gaze, is that so? I'd like to return those words to you. You'd better hope you don't see me again, and when that time comes, you'd better not kneel and beg me. Because even if you kneel and beg, it'll be useless. I will never spare a shameless and unrighteous person like you. Provoked by Qin Nan, Qin Jiao became furious. So much so that he stammered, You just wait for me. He clenched his fists, his face pale as he stared daggers at him. Qin Nan thought smugly, time to check out the martial skills first. The book emitting a blue spiritual aura is the cloud treading steps, allowing the user's body to move like a shadowless cloud, appearing and disappearing, making them unpredictable to others. The one surrounded by green light is the jade stone palm, and when mastered, the palm becomes harder than jade stone. Impervious to water and fire, and impenetrable by blades and spears, a single palm strike holds the power of more than 9 bulls and 2 tigers. As for the red and pink books, they were the solitary mountain flying sword and the mountain splitting spear technique, respectively. Qin Nan thought with a mix of disappointment and confusion. The power of intermediate-grade martial skills is truly extraordinary, much stronger than low-grade ones. But none of them are suitable for me. Then, a tattered-looking book lying alone in a corner caught Qin Nan's eye. He read the title on the cover and wondered, Thundering Lightning Saber Technique. After reading it, Qin Nan imagined a saber strike like thundering lightning, as fast as a flash. His eyes lit up as he thought, this is the one. Qin Nan calculated in his mind. At 16 years old, he had created his own saber technique, but it only had the power of a low-grade martial skill. And later, his saber technique stagnated, making it difficult to improve. This thundering lightning saber technique is an intermediate-grade martial skill with extraordinary power. It could help his saber technique make a huge leap forward, which was exactly what he wanted, under a blue sky with white clouds, golden sunshine, and a gentle breeze. He stopped in front of a familiar building, flanked by trees with lush, leafy branches. Qin Nan looked at the freshly painted red door and sighed in his heart. The courtyard has been nicely repaired. What's going on here? A familiar voice rang out, making him pause. You're back? The Qin family's patriarch, Qin Chen, stood in the middle of the courtyard and said, has your cultivation broken through to the first layer of the body tempering realm? Qin Nan bowed his head slightly and replied respectfully, yes, thanks to the pills father gave me. He voiced his doubts in disbelief. Although 10 body tempering pills have potent medicinal effects, you ultimately only have a yellow-grade first-rank martial soul. How could you break through so quickly with just 10 body tempering pills? Although he tried to hide it, he couldn't completely conceal his smugness. It was just luck, by the way, father. Why did you come here today? Qin Nan thought of the war god's soul, and alarm bells rang in his mind. The war god's soul was his biggest secret, and he absolutely couldn't let anyone find out, not even his own family. If word got out, it would lead to a fatal disaster. Qin Shin stood in the breeze, turned to look at him, and added, you guys caused such a mess and wrecked the place, and you think I wouldn't come? From now on, if you encounter this kind of trouble, come directly to me. No one is allowed to bully the son of Qin Chen. He wasn't afraid of them at all and replied casually, Father, I can handle these things myself. He paid no mind and continued to remind him, actually, I came this time to tell you something. Don't be discouraged and don't give up. From now on, regarding your cultivation, whenever you need pills, just come directly to me, because I believe in you. That one day you will become a great martial artist, capable of standing on your own. Then Qin Nan bowed his head before Qin Chen again. Father, I have a favor to ask. He made a bold request. I need pills, specifically 100 body tempering pills. If I could get 200, or even 500 body tempering pills, that would be even better. Qin Nan knew this was a difficult request to fulfill. So he tried his best to persuade Qin Chen. I know this is an outrageous request, but I beg you to agree to it. He calculated in his head. The war god's soul can raise its rank by devouring pills. Just by devouring 10 body tempering pills, it already went from the yellow grade 6th rank, upgraded to yellow grade 7th rank. So, what level can 100 body tempering pills raise the war god's soul to? What about 200? What about 500? Qin Chen didn't refuse but asked with some surprise, what do you need so many body tempering pills for? Qin Nan avoided his gaze, breaking out in a nervous sweat. Seeing his expression, he understood a little. If you don't want to say, then I won't ask. 500 body tempering pills is no small number. I can't get that many at once. Give me a few days, and I'll figure something out. At the Qin family residence, 3 days later. The warm sunlight shone down on the courtyard. The war god's soul appeared behind Qin Nan. While he was still meditating with his eyes closed, Qin Nan suddenly snapped his eyes open. His pupils shining brightly, Qin Nan felt the spiritual energy circulating within him, and let out a sigh of relief. I've finally broken through to the second level of the body tempering realm. He comfortably lay back as the fire elements were all absorbed by Qin Nan, and the war god soul's power also increased. The body tempering realm is divided into 10 levels in total. And with each level up, the physical body is strengthened once. The difficulty of advancing to higher realms increases, requiring more spiritual energy, even though his war god soul had already advanced to the yellow grade 7th rank, and his cultivation speed was twice as fast as before. It still took him 3 days to break through to the second level of the body tempering realm. Qin Nan's face turned serious. It was clear that cultivation was like climbing a mountain. The higher you go, the harder it gets. He calmly closed his eyes. He couldn't slack off and had to continue cultivating. At the same time, in the Qin family's main discussion hall, besides Qin Chen, there were 3 other people. They were First Elder Taiba, the Second Elder, and the Third Elder. Taiba spoke first, impatiently, taking a sip of tea. I wonder why the Patriarch has summoned us today. He spoke seriously. I've gathered you all today to inform you that I intend to use my authority as Patriarch to allocate 1,000 body tempering pills for Qin Nan's cultivation. Hearing this, Taiba was so shocked he spat the tea he just drank right into Qin Chen's face. He slammed the table, shot up, and yelled, Qin Chen, are you insane? You want to allocate 1,000 body tempering pills to a piece of trash? A slight smirk secretly formed on Qin Chen's lips. Since the First Elder disagrees, then 500 pills will do, Taiba furiously retorted. No way, I absolutely do not agree to this. You want to give your useless son 500 body tempering pills. What a pipe dream. The Second Elder also cautiously reminded him, Patriarch, I also disagree with giving him 500 body tempering pills. This is enough cultivation resources for all the Qin family disciples for 5 months. You already gave Qin Nan 10 body tempering pills last time, and we didn't say anything. But 500 pills now is simply impossible. The Third Elder nodded in agreement with him. That's right, that's right. On what grounds does a piece of trash get to monopolize so many resources? Qin said unflinchingly, I didn't call you here today to negotiate. I've already made my decision, rest assured from now on. I, Qin, will no longer take my monthly stipend. It will all be used to compensate for this allocation of body-tempering pills, Taiba vehemently objected. No, absolutely not. No matter what, we can't give them to that piece of trash, he thought in a panic. The Qin family's reserves of body-tempering pills aren't large. I was planning to allocate a large amount of body-tempering pills for Changkong's cultivation. If Qin takes 500 pills, how will I allocate pills for Changkong? He angrily released a suffocating pressure. It's decided, all of you leave. The three of them turned pale with fear, and didn't dare to voice any more objections. Inside his room, Qin Nan was still cultivating. Strands of spiritual energy were forming a circle, enveloping him. He closed his eyes, immersed in his spiritual world. Body tempering, although it enhances the physical body's strength in all aspects, cultivation still requires a step-by-step approach. To advance, Qin Nan's eyes opened wide, revealing his determination. A person's physical body is composed of skin, flesh, tendons, bones, internal organs, and blood. My skin and flesh are already fully tempered and hardened, so now I can temper my tendons and bones. The circle surrounding him grew increasingly brighter with a golden light. Qin Nan clenched his fist, a triumphant smirk on his face. I've finally broken through to the third level of the body-tempering realm. A yellow grade 7th rank martial soul is truly not to be underestimated. Then his expression turned extremely cautious. He didn't know when his father would be able to bring him the body-tempering pills, but his father had already agreed. So he would definitely be given 500 body-tempering pills. The more Qin Nan thought about it, the more smug he felt. But this matter was bound to be a bit troublesome. In everyone's eyes, he was still a yellow grade 1st rank piece of trash. He probably wouldn't be able to get them in the next few days. Since that was the case, he decided to first go to the Longhu mountain range to practice the thundering saber technique. After all, just improving his cultivation wasn't enough. He also needed to practice martial skills in combination to unleash his strongest combat power. In the Longhu mountain range, an eagle flapped its wings vigorously, letting out a few squawks as its talons touched a tree trunk. Before leaping high into the air, Qin Nan landed on a branch, staring intently at a rabbit on the opposite side. Then he glanced in another direction. A sense of alarm rose in his heart. In a place hidden from view, a snake flicked its tongue and slithered towards the rabbit, after the snake had snatched the rabbit in its mouth. Qin Nan leaped away. The Longhu mountain range was filled with many demonic beasts, making it an excellent place to hone his martial skills. He crouched down, stopping at a higher vantage point to observe. The thundering saber technique emphasized speed and instantaneous explosive power. To practice the saber technique, this location was perfect. Qin Nan jumped down, landing on a rock at the head of the stream's current. He drew his saber, bent his knees, and entered a combat stance. Qin Nan spun around, and the water surged into a powerful wave. He appeared within the circle of water. Not enough. Qin Nan stood firm against the surging waves rushing towards him. Not enough. He dodged a jet of water, his hand tightening on the saber's hilt as he gritted his teeth. Still not enough. Qin Nan closed his eyes to calm himself, and the war god soul appeared behind him to assist. Qin Nan soared into the air, decisively unleashing a slash across the current. He looked with satisfaction at the result he had just created. One slash to sever it. I've succeeded. This was the true power of the thundering saber technique, truly terrifying. A white, hairy paw emitting a dark green aura appeared. A black-striped tiger with a ferocious expression emerged from behind the bushes. It was a third-ranked demonic beast called the striped tiger. It moved quickly to the stream's edge. Qin Nan held his saber, warily watching the striped tiger open its drooling mouth, and let out a loud roar. It decisively leaped high into the air, pouncing towards Qin Nan in the middle of the river. Without a hint of fear, he swung his saber and slashed across its body in one strike. The striped tiger was knocked to the ground, and Qin Nan blinked, looking at its corpse and thinking, this saber technique is truly formidable. Among intermediate-grade martial skills, it's probably a top-tier existence. He coldly sheathed his saber. However, his thundering saber technique was only at the minor success stage. He had to continue training. Suddenly, there was another movement in the forest. Qin Nan looked around cautiously. There's another one. He glanced up with an interested look. Well, Qin Nan gathered power in his fist and flew towards the demonic ape to attack. Come on. Its eyes were blood red. It hadn't eaten meat in a long time and drooled at the sight of him. Qin Nan and the beast decided to see whose fist was more powerful. In the end, the demonic ape won, sending him flying. Qin Nan closed his eyes and gritted his teeth against the pain, using his feet to skid across the ground to slow down. Before Qin Nan could process what happened, the demonic ape leaped down from above to attack again. The demonic ape's massive fist closed in on Qin Nan's face. He quickly flew backward, dodging the fatal blow. Qin Nan placed his hand on his saber's hilt, snorted coldly, and swung his saber in a single arc, unleashing the thundering saber technique, but unfortunately, the demonic ape easily blocked it with its bare hands, and Qin Nan was sent flying again. A sense of unease grew in his heart. This is bad. This demonic ape isn't a third-rank demonic beast, but a fourth-rank one. He glanced at it chasing closely behind him, and calculated inwardly, my thundering saber technique is only at the initial success stage. I'm no match for this demonic beast. Run. The demonic ape threw another punch shrouded in a purple aura of power. Qin Nan dodged the blow again, and it slammed into the ground, shattering it. He angrily gritted his teeth, thinking to himself, damn it. Qin Nan successfully landed on a floating rock in midair, then used it as a foothold to launch a final attack on the demonic ape. Qin Nan rushed forward, enveloped in a golden shield. He watched in stunned amazement as the ape demon swung its arm, sending him flying to the ground once again. From within the smoke, he slowly stood up, using his sword for support. Blood flowed from Qin Nan's mouth due to internal injuries, as he closed one eye to observe his opponent. The ape demon suddenly appeared, leaping down from midair with the intent to crush Qin Nan, but he successfully escaped again, foiling its plan. Due to the force of its jump, the ape demon got stuck in the ground, immobilized. It let out a pathetic roar, and Qin Nan stared at it, thinking that since he couldn't escape, then it's time to fight. He summoned the war god Soul to enhance the damage of his techniques, but the ape demon showed no fear. It swung its arm to retaliate against Qin Nan. He effortlessly managed to slice off its arm, causing the ape demon to panic in extreme pain. It turned and fled in fear. Qin Nan stood still, not intending to act, smirking as he watched the ape demon run, trying to run. Qin Nan flew towards it and raised his sword, slashing a vertical line across its chest. Stay with me, he said, calmly landing on the ground after defeating the ape demon. Sticking his sword into the ground, Qin Nan clutched his chest in pain, thinking to himself that this ape demon was indeed tough, forcing him to summon the war god Soul. He had barely managed to kill it, but he was also severely injured. The Longhu mountain range is full of demonic beasts, making even hiding places dangerous, and in his current injured state, if he ran into another demonic beast, he would surely die. So, the most urgent task was to find a spiritual herb from heaven and earth to recover. A stream of yellowish-white aura flowed towards his feet, then rose into the sky, spreading everywhere. Qin Nan headed in the direction where the yellowish-white aura was most concentrated. He deduced that if the spiritual energy was this dense, there must be a heavenly spiritual object ahead. The deeper he went, the denser the spiritual energy became. He stopped before a lake, which was the source of the spiritual energy. This is a spirit Kli origin pond. Qin Nan's eyebrows shot up as a satisfied smile spread across his face. I never expected to find a spirit Qi origin pond. Recovering from my injuries will be a breeze now. The sound of approaching footsteps made his eyes widen in shock. Qin Jiao, along with Qin Yu, was walking towards the lake. Big brother, there really is a spirit Qi origin pond up ahead, Qin Yu exclaimed as he saw the dense spiritual energy. That's right, I learned this from an ancient map. There is definitely a spirit Qi origin pond ahead. Qin Jiao's eyebrows rose smugly as he spoke. That's great, with the spirit Qi origin pond, both of our cultivation levels can break through. When that happens, I'm going to give Qin Nan a beating. His face darkened as he ground his teeth, revealing the depth of his hatred for Qin Nan. That's letting him off too easy. Just give me the chance, and I'll cripple him, making his life a living hell. He leaned against a tree, crossed his arms, and laughed as he looked at the two of them, asking, is that so? The brothers Qin Jiao and Qin Yu hissed in unison. Qin Nan, why are you here? The man laughed loudly as he looked at him. I don't care why you're here, Qin Nan. You had a path to heaven, but refused to take it. But you choose to barge into a gateless hell. We're not in the martial skill pavilion now, nor are we in the Qin family's residence, so there's no one to protect you. Today, I want to see what kind of skills you really have to back up your arrogance from last time. As soon as the words left his mouth, Qin Yu unleashed his technique. Immediately, second layer body tempering realm. On the other side, Qin Jiao also crouched into an attack stance. First layer body tempering realm. Qin Nan just smiled faintly at the two of them. His thoughts surfaced. It's only been a few days, But the cultivation of these two has improved quite a lot. It seems I'm not the only one who's made progress. A few days ago, I truly would not have been a match for these two guys, however, as you are now, you're nothing but mere insects in my eyes. Not even worth mentioning. He also channeled his spiritual energy to counter them. As for what skills I truly possess, I'm afraid two shameless scoundrels like you are not worthy enough to find out. Qin Yu summoned a bow and fired an arrow at Qin Nan. You're looking to die. Qin Jiao, beside him, stopped him. Big brother, I alone am enough to deal with this trash. You just stand by and enjoy the show. A vicious glint appeared in his eyes. I want to wash away the humiliation from last time. Qin Nan found this laughable. Avenge last time's humiliation with you. Have you forgotten how I beat you like a dog last time? Qin Jiao controlled his sword. Qin Nan, don't be so arrogant. Last time, you got the advantage of 10 body tempering pills and broke through to the first layer of the body tempering realm. My cultivation is also at the first layer of the body tempering realm now, and my martial soul is a yellow grade 3rd rank, while yours is just a trash yellow grade 1st rank martial soul. You're no match for me at all. He gripped his sword tightly and charged, attacking him with the autumn water sword technique. Qin Yu watched from the side, a smug grin spreading across his face. The autumn water sword technique was also a mid-grade martial skill, and with his younger brother's swordsmanship, its power was even greater. Its might was immense, making him nearly unrivaled in the first layer of the body tempering realm. Qin Nan's defeat was certain. Unfazed, Qin Nan said, such meager talent is not even worth mentioning. As Qin Jiao's sword swung down, he didn't even draw his own blade, blocking the attack with his bare hands. The blade couldn't withstand the pressure and began to crack and shatter. Qin Jiao's eyes widened in stunned disbelief at what just happened. With a single punch, Qin Nan pierced right through his body, defeating Qin Jiao in just one move. On the other side, Qin Yu's face turned pale, and he was speechless. Then, he raised his bow and fired at him. You killed my brother. I want you dead. An arrow imbued with immense spiritual energy flew towards Qin Nan. He used his saber to deflect the arrow effortlessly. Qin Yu's eyes widened in confusion. How is this possible? Qin Nan pointed his saber at him and said smugly, what's wrong? Is this all you've got? I'm so disappointed. I only used half my strength in that last strike. Qin Yu's face went pale with fear, sweat pouring down like a waterfall. Half your strength? Could it be that your cultivation has broken through to the 3rd layer of the body tempering realm? No, that's impossible. You, a piece of trash with a yellow grade 1st rank martial soul. How could you possibly reach the 3rd layer of the body tempering realm so quickly? His pupils took on a strange shape, his voice filled with contempt. Trash with a yellow grade 1st rank martial soul. Qin Yu, do you really think I only have a yellow grade 1st rank martial soul? Today, I'll let you see my true martial soul. Qin Nan summoned the war god soul, his voice firm as steel. Let me show you who the real trash is. Qin Nan summoned the colossal war god soul, its aura blazing, its power stunning Qin Yu. He was so flustered he could barely speak. You have a yellow grade 7th rank martial soul. How can this be? Qin Nan challenged him proudly. Now who's the trash? Qin Yu gritted his teeth, thinking bitterly, I can't believe this piece of trash actually has a yellow grade 7th rank martial soul. I'm no match for him at all. If I keep fighting, I'm afraid I'll end up just like Qin Jiao. At this point, he had no choice but to swallow his pride and flee. Running was his best option. As for Qin Jiao's revenge, I'll tell my father when I get back, and we'll definitely chop this trash into 1,000,000 pieces. But Qin Nan wasn't about to let Qin Yu escape so easily. Trying to run. Do you think you can? He moved like the wind, instantly appearing in front of him, and swiftly threw a fiery punch. Qin Yu, the blow landed squarely on his stomach. Qin Yu cried out in shock, but it wasn't over. The punch was powerful enough to send him flying for a mile. Qin Yu was sent soaring, his body crashing hard into a massive tree. The impact was so great that the tree trunk began to crack, and then snapped in two. He fell to the ground, screaming in agony. With just a single blow, Qin Nan had sent a massive shockwave through the entire forest. Qin Yu struggled to sit up in the devastated clearing, panting heavily as he roared in anger. Qin Nan, don't push me too far. He landed lightly and didn't deny it. I am pushing you, so what can you do about it? Qin Yu struggled to his feet, enduring the pain as he spoke. Do you really think I can't beat you? I just feel that you're a genius, and killing you would be a great loss to the family. So I decided to spare your life. Don't force me to kill you. Qin Nan's tone was laced with mockery. Is that so? You're so selfless and impartial. I killed your brother. Don't you hate me? Don't you want to avenge him? Qin Yu waved his hands, denying the thought. No hate at all. Qin Jiao deserved to die for daring to attack you, rest assured. I will absolutely not seek revenge, and I won't tell anyone that you killed Qin Jiao. When I get back, I'll just say Qin Jiao was eaten by a demonic beast. His inhumane words truly filled Qin Nan with disgust. You're truly heartless and disloyal, just to save your own skin. You won't even avenge your own younger brother. A person like you doesn't deserve to live. Go die. Hearing Qin Nan's insults, he bitterly wanted to fight back. Damn you for forcing my hand. Qin Shan unleashed his martial skill to counterattack. Another myriad points of cold death. Qin Nan, go to hell. A barrage of arrows imbued with spiritual energy shot out, aiming straight for him. The attack was so fast that Qin Nan had no time to prepare. Unable to dodge, he had to take the full brunt of the thunderous rain of arrows, struggling to withstand its power. He staggered backward in pain. The force of the impact was immense, causing Qin Nan to cough up a significant amount of blood. Seeing Qin Nan struggle to stay on his feet, he was overjoyed. Qin Nan, myriad points of cold death is my strongest technique. Its power can even kill a third-level body-tempering realm martial artist. You're dead for sure today. He confidently unleashed the technique again to finish Qin Nan, myriad points of cold death. But this time, he was ready to counterattack, having summoned his War God Soul. War God Soul, lend me your strength. Now, every arrow seemed feeble before the tip of Qin Nan's flaming saber, thundering saber art. Destroy everything. Qin Shan stubbornly fired off volley after volley of arrows to corner him, but they were all defeated within the storm. Of Qin Nan's slashes, he collapsed to the ground, his face filled with disbelief as he confronted this reality. No, impossible. How could you defeat me? Meanwhile, Qin Nan stood calmly before him as the pathetic Qin Shan fell to his knees and begged. Please, don't kill me, don't kill me. However, Qin Nan wasn't someone who would so easily forgive his crimes. I told you before, you shouldn't have knelt to beg me, because even if you did, I still wouldn't spare you. It seems you didn't take my words to heart. Remember this when you two brothers get to the other side. Don't be so arrogant, don't look down on others, and most importantly, don't be so shameless and disloyal. Otherwise, you won't even get the chance to regret it. Then, without giving Qin Shan any more time to repent, he coldly swung his saber. Now, go join your brother in the afterlife. Leaving Qin Shan's body sprawled in the forest, Qin Nan calmly turned and walked away. Getting rid of this obstacle was a relief. Finally, no more interruptions. Now, let's test the effects of this spiritual Kai pond. Qin Nan approached the pond, and seeing the water swirling with a spiritual vortex, he didn't hesitate to jump right in. Qin Nan entered a state of cultivation. He floated in the center of the pond, absorbing the surging power and focusing his cultivation to draw in even more. Magical lights danced upon the rippling water. He breathed a sigh of relief as his wounds healed. Finally, my injuries are all healed. This spiritual Kai pond still has so much primal energy, more than enough for my cultivation. Good, it's time for a breakthrough. My flesh and bones have already reached the initial stage of tempering. But my internal organs and blood Q have barely been tempered. Qin Nan continued to focus on refining his internal energy, using the assistance of the primal energy in the pond to temper my internal organs, and see if I can break through to the 4th level body tempering realm. He focused his mind, and a brilliant vortex of energy swirled around his body. Qin Nan cultivated intently for 3 hours. The clear blue pond became as still as a mirror, the atmosphere tranquil and harmonious as he meditated in its center. With his eyes half closed, streams of spiritual energy radiated from his body, causing the pond's surface to ripple. Suddenly, Qin Nan sensed a change. His eyes flew open in astonishment. He had reached the level he was aiming for, finally breaking through to the 4th level body tempering realm. Full of excitement, Qin Nan leaped out of the pond. He landed powerfully on the ground, his body brimming with internal energy, eager to test his new strength. Now, let's test the power of the 4th level body tempering realm. He unleashed a fiery fist at a tree trunk to test his strength. To his surprise, that single blow caused the massive tree trunk to crack, and in the next instant, it split completely in two. Qin Nan was utterly astonished by the force of that punch. Is this the power of the 4th level body tempering realm? It's strong enough to make a low-grade martial skill as powerful as a mid-grade one. How incredible! He was pleased with the benefits he'd gained since arriving, and unexpectedly, after just 2 short days in the Longhu mountain range. His harvest was already quite abundant. My purpose for coming to the Longhu mountain range this time has been achieved. However, it will naturally take some time for Father to help me get 500 body tempering pills. He probably hasn't gotten them yet, so if I go back now, I'll just be training arduously alone. Just training arduously, looking at the massive mountain range before him, a determination to conquer it rose in Qin Nan's heart. It would be better to stay and train in the long mountain range. First, to improve my combat experience, and second, if I'm lucky, I might even have a few fortuitous encounters. The moment the thought crossed his mind, he was ready to act. Turning around to begin exploring, along the way, he encountered several dangers, but Qin Nan didn't flinch, bravely facing them to claim victory. Slash, 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 a moment later, a roar suddenly echoed through the forest. It turned out Qin Nan was facing a large, ferocious beast. The fierce demonic beast pounced on Qin Nan, but he nimbly leaped up to dodge its attack, doing a flip-in. Mid-air to gain momentum for a counterattack, he reached for the saber on his back and decisively slashed at the beast, leaving it no time to dodge and take the full force of the blow. It was cut in two with just a single slash. Qin Nan found fighting this demonic beast to be utterly mundane. A fifth-level demonic beast is nothing special after all. His ever-growing abilities made him extremely confident. My thundering saber art is getting stronger and stronger. It won't be long now. Before I can break through to the next level again, this is too fast. My comprehension ability shouldn't be able to improve this quickly. The only explanation is the war god's soul. Qin Nan considered the combination of powers he possessed. If the war god soul can truly enhance a person's comprehension ability, and also upgrade a martial soul's rank, then it's terrifying beyond belief. Suddenly, the sound of horse hooves rang out, shattering the forest's tranquility. The sound immediately caught his attention, and he became more alert. Someone's here. Ever since Qin Nan advanced to the fourth layer of the body-tempering realm and strengthened his internal organs, he had noticed a significant improvement in his sight and hearing. Basically, within a 12-meter radius. Qin Nan could keenly detect any rustle of grass in the wind. Curious, he didn't overthink it and hurried over to see what was happening. I'll go take a look. On the other side of the forest, a group of attendants was focused on finding their way. Young miss, is it this way? Qin Nan recognized the woman. It's her. What is she doing here? But her appearance also puzzled him. The girl was Fang Su, the youngest daughter of the Fang family's patriarch in Linshui City. Besides the great Qin family with its 100-year history, the Fang family had countless disciples with limitless potential, and their strength was even a notch higher than the Qin family's. Being lost in the dense forest made her irritable, and she yelled at her guards, "What's going on? Are we not there yet? You three idiots, did you even look at the map properly? If you've led me to the wrong place, this young miss won't forgive you." A guard trembled and stammered, "Young miss, we didn't read the map wrong, except for that collapsed stone cave we encountered earlier. There really aren't any other cultivators' abodes. It's very likely that this map is a fake." Hearing this, Fang Su flew into a rage, insisting she was right. "What? How could the map I obtained be a fake? Search carefully for me. If you don't find it, just see how this young miss deals with you then." The three terrified guards could only obey. "Yes, young miss." Hiding behind a tree and observing, he soon understood their purpose. So they're here looking for treasure. What kind of treasure is Fang Si looking for, that she had to mobilize so many people? Just then, Qin Nan accidentally stepped on a twig, and the sound gave away his hiding spot. 5 sharp guards immediately took action. "Who's there? Get out here." The tip of a sword lunging towards him made Qin Nan freeze in astonishment for a moment. Qin Nan skillfully leaped backward, letting the tree trunk take the sword thrust. He was quite surprised to have been discovered and asked the guards, "How did you manage to discover me?" Qin Nan's movements were truly difficult to track. Ever since he tempered his internal organs and his cultivation reached the 4th layer body tempering realm, Qin Nan could conceal his aura, making it very difficult for others to investigate him. He had a cunning and smug look on his face. "I awakened a martial soul called Mist Grass, and although its rank isn't high, it can sense everything. Within a 10-meter radius, your concealment technique is very clever, and if you hadn't just entered my search range, I would have never been able to detect you." This was the first time Qin Nan had learned that such a martial soul even existed in the world. The variety of martial souls was truly endless. "I was careless this time. It seems I need to be more cautious in the future, and not get arrogant just because of my cultivation level." Nearby, Fang Xu rode up on her horse, her voice sharp as she demanded, Who is spying on me?" She recognized Qin Nan and stared at him to make sure. Qin Nan found himself in an awkward and frustrating situation. Surrounded by 4 opponents, Fang Su angrily interrogated him. "You piece of trash, you're not cultivating in your family's home. So what are you doing spying on me?" Qin Nan found her interrogation annoying. Whether I'm cultivating at home is none of your business, and besides, I have no interest in spying on you. I was just passing by. She was left speechless, gritting her teeth, unable to retort. Fang Xu had paid a high price for an ancient map. Thinking she could find some treasure, but after searching for 4 hours and finding nothing, her mood was absolutely terrible, now, being treated this way by him. Her pent-up frustration immediately exploded. Fang Xu arrogantly pulled her reins, riding her horse right up to Qin Nan, and with a superior air. She demanded he apologize for his insolence. You piece of trash, how dare you speak to me like that? Get on your knees and kowtow an apology to me. Hearing this, Qin Nan scratched his head and played dumb. Kowtow and apologize. He then bluntly mocked Fang Xu. Is there something wrong with your brain? Why on earth should I kowtow and apologize to you? Her face flushed with anger, but she was at a loss for words. You dare to insult me. Fang Xu then resorted to belittling Qin Nan. With insults, if it weren't for your status as the young master of the Qin family, a piece of trash like you wouldn't even be qualified to kowtow to me. Get on your knees and apologize to me right now or else. But he remained unfazed and challenged her right back, or else what? What can you do to me? She was utterly infuriated by Qin Nan's arrogant attitude. Since you're seeking death, I'll grant you your wish. Fang Xu ordered the other 3 men to inflict cruel punishments on him, cut off his limbs and cripple his dantian for me. Don't kill him. I want to play with him slowly. I want to make his life a living hell. She thought she had backed Qin Nan into a corner, and a cunning, triumphant smile appeared on her face. A piece of trash like you dares to be arrogant with me. Watch how I'll play you to death. The 3 guards joined forces to surround him, magical vines filling the space. Aiming to restrain Qin Nan completely, at this point, he could no longer let them control the situation. We have no grudge against each other. Yet you insist on cutting off my limbs and crippling my dantian. After being unjustly provoked, sparks of anger flared in Qin Nan's eyes as a whirlwind of fire erupted from his body like a hurricane. Cracking the ground beneath him, he challenged them. Do you really think I, Qin Nan, am that easy to bully? The destructive power of the fiery vortex made it difficult for Fang Xu's group to withstand. Watching Qin Nan's overwhelming power, she was stunned by his powerful technique, 4th layer body tempering realm. How can this be? Fang Xu's panic turned into rage, and she hastily ordered, kill him for me. The 3 guards once again used their guard grass. Hoping to create a tight encirclement around Qin Nan, they combined their strength to form a giant sphere of vines, ready to explode at any moment. He silently observed his opponent's every move. They seemed to have a tacit understanding, their martial souls faintly linking together. The 3 of them combined their abilities to pour all their strength into their ultimate techniques. Then they charged forward one by one, their eyes glowing like sentient poisonous vines. Strands of vegetation began to swirl around Qin Nan. But he remained calm, thinking, what a powerful aura. The might of this combined attack has reached the level of the 4th layer body tempering realm. No wonder these 3, despite only having yellow-grade 1st rank martial souls and cultivation at the 3rd layer body tempering realm, could serve as Fang Xu's guards, so this was their true skill. Suddenly, Qin Nan smirked, as if he had figured something crucial out. But that magic was too pathetic compared to his cultivation level. Unable to stop even a single one of his slashes, a single strike created a fiery wind, blowing away the dense encirclement of vines, as each flame resonated to form a fire tornado that threatened to devour everything in its path. That tornado spiraled forward, attacking the guards head-on. With lightning speed, they were completely annihilated, their bodies torn to shreds, and the magical plants were blasted to ashes. The forest seemed to tremble with each wave of energy released. The scene was like a massive explosion, and she couldn't dodge it, and was mercilessly thrown back by the attack. Fang Xu was severely injured, even coughing up blood, and she sat there in stunned collapse at this reality. This is impossible. How can a piece of trash like you be so strong? Fang Xu's eyes were now filled with nothing but fear and despair. Because she was facing an imposing Qin Nan, who had come to settle the score, Qin Nan taunted her, scared now. Fang Xu, so you can feel fear too. His every word seemed to crush Fang Xu. Weren't you just running your mouth about severing my limbs and crippling my dantian? Now, I must apologize. I accidentally killed all of your guards. They can't complete their mission of severing my limbs and crippling my dantian as you wished. So next, are you planning to cripple me yourself? She stammered and trembled. Fang Xu clasped her hands and begged Qin Nan. Please don't kill me, I'll never dare to do this again, I'm begging you, but he coldly refused. You won't have a next time. She didn't give up, trying to persuade Qin Nan to spare her. Qin Nan, I am the eldest young miss of the Fang family. You can't kill me. If you kill me, my father will definitely not spare you. Also, my older brother has awakened a yellow grade 6th rank martial soul, and if you kill me, he will surely hunt you down for revenge. Hearing this, Qin Nan hesitated slightly. A yellow grade 6th rank martial soul. Fang Rulong has awakened a yellow grade 6th rank martial soul, but I've never heard of it. Why would the Fang family keep this so secret? Are they plotting something? Seeing the change in his expression, Fang Su gloated inwardly. Scared, are you? She immediately changed her tune. A piece of trash like you dares to lay a hand on me. You're truly courting death. If you kneel and kowtow to me 100 times right now, then sever your own arms and legs. I might spare you one life. He smirked and asked Fang Su, is that so? Qin Nan drew his blade and approached her. Oh, Fang Su, you're quite interesting, even at a time like this. You still dare to threaten me. We're in the Longu mountain range right now. Even if I kill you, who would know? Fang Su reverted to her weak demeanor. Don't you? He challenged her aggressively. Furthermore, I'm not afraid of your father, because my father is also the head of the Qin family. Besides, I'm even less afraid of your older brother, because in my eyes, he's not even worth mentioning. Is a yellow grade 6th rank martial soul really that great? Qin Nan boasted arrogantly. Today I'll let you broaden your horizons a bit and see what a true martial soul is. She was instantly terrified, her face turning pale. A yellow grade 7th rank martial soul. How can this be? Fang Su couldn't believe her eyes. You actually awakened a yellow grade 7th rank martial soul. Without bothering to answer, Qin Nan made a single slash down her body. Looking at the body sprawled before him, he said with contempt, to die at the hands of my war god soul, you can consider your death meaningful. Qin Nan turned and walked away, leaving her motionless body there. Suddenly, something on Fang Su's body began to glow. Catching his attention, Qin Nan stared at it with curiosity. He went back to search through Fang Su's belongings. This woman is quite rich, body tempering pills, an ancient map. Among them, Qin Nan found an old map. This ancient map is, he frowned, examining it from the conversation between Fang Su and her guards. They used this ancient map to find a stone cave, but this stone cave is too dilapidated. There's no treasure at all. The map was clutched tightly in Qin Nan's hand. I have nothing better to do right now. I might as well go to that stone cave and take a look. Who knows, I might discover something. He gathered his strength and leaped into the air. Qin Nan leaped from cliff to cliff, following the map's directions, and landed at the foot of a strange mountain. Qin Nan silently observed every detail there, comparing the scene with the map where weeds grew in clumps. It seems this ancient map was indeed a fake. Qin Nan sighed in disappointment and was about to leave when suddenly, a gust of wind blew through, rustling the scenery and blowing away the dusty grass on the cliff face. Revealing an unusual handprint, he immediately turned back, his attention drawn to this anomaly, and Qin Nan gripped the hilt of his saber, ready to draw it for any situation. He made a few tentative moves in front of the handprint, then pressed the tip of his saber into the center of its palm. Seeing no reaction, he put his weapon away. There was no mechanism. It seemed this palm print held no secrets, possibly just a mark left behind from someone else's fight or training session. Qin Nan sighed, having wasted his effort again. Unexpectedly, his war god soul suddenly appeared behind him, and Qin Nan looked at it in surprise. Why did the war god soul appear on its own? At that moment, Qin Nan witnessed streams of power swirling around the handprint on the cliff face. A powerful might continuously radiated from the palm print before him. He frowned slightly, tensing up as he thought, what a terrifying aura. This is the aura of a martial king. Qin Nan recalled carefully. It seemed the ancient map was referring to this single palm print as the treasure. It's just that Fang Su's group had cultivation levels that were too low to even sense the will contained within the palm print. If it weren't for the war god soul just now, I would have never discovered the profound mystery of this palm print. He slowly sat down. With the war god soul still protecting him from behind, this palm print contains the will of a martial king, and comprehending it will be of great help to my cultivation. Qin Nan sat cross-legged on the ground, his eyes fixed on the palm print, his mind more focused than ever before. From the depths, a palm print containing terrifying power descended from the sky, as if wanting to shatter Qin Nan. The giant hand gradually lowered. Before Qin Nan could make a move, the war god soul behind him turned its head. Flames appeared in its sharp, cold eyes, from which a powerful fiery force shot out. That fiery force shot straight out to confront the palm print. The two terrifying powers clashed, neither giving an inch, but in the end, the fiery force was victorious. The mental construct was shattered by a golden light, transforming into a stream of conceptual energy that entered Qin Nan's mind. He meditated in a boundless space. Qin Nan calmed himself and focused wholeheartedly on perceiving these concepts, his inner self reaching a completely new level of sublimation. Some time later, as the sky brightened, the aura still enveloped his body. Suddenly, Qin Nan's eyes snapped open, a golden light flashing within them. From his eyes, a fiery force identical to the war god's souls shot out towards the boulder in front of him. As the dust settled, a large crack appeared on the giant boulder. Qin Nan clenched his fist excitedly, thinking to himself, "This martial king's will is truly terrifying. I only managed to comprehend a tiny fraction of it, and I've already made such great progress. If I could fully comprehend this martial king's will, my strength would absolutely skyrocket." He looked at his hand, still emitting a golden light, and thought with frustration, "I can only blame my cultivation for being too low, allowing me to comprehend so little. What a pity." Qin Nan took his saber and swung it at the ground, thinking, "During my comprehension, it seems my thundering saber art has improved again. Now, let's test the level of my thundering saber art." The resulting saber strike split the boulder in front of him in two. He reasoned that he now felt a spiritual connection with his saber. "I'm afraid I've now taken the first step into the man and saber as one realm." Furthermore, even an ordinary fifth-layer body-tempering realm expert would have difficulty blocking that last strike. Standing amidst the dust, Qin Nan told himself with determination, "This training session in the Longhu mountain range has been quite fruitful. There isn't much time left, and I bet Father has already prepared enough body-tempering pills. It's time to go back." He happily dashed forward. The scene changes to the Qin family residence, where Qin Nan stretched and relaxed as soon as he stepped inside. "Finally, I'm back." Suddenly, his eyes caught the attitude of the people around him. He saw them huddling close together, whispering about something. Qin Nan carefully analyzed in his mind, "From the way these people are looking at me, it seems Father has managed to get the 500 body-tempering pills for me." He paid them no more mind and calmly strode inside. Suddenly, someone blocked Qin Nan's path. The visitor was Tai San, the personal guard of Qin Chen, Qin Nan's father. Within the Qin family, his cultivation was second only to Qin Chen's. He was also Qin Chen's confidant. Holding a box in his hand, he reported, "Young master, the family has brought you 500 body-tempering pills." Qin Nan politely took the box. "Thank you, Uncle San." As he slightly opened the box, a rich, fragrant aroma wafted out. When he fully opened the lid, the neatly arranged pills inside seemed to glow. Qin Nan practically drooled, his eyes greedily fixed on them. Fortunately, his mouth still worked. He praised, "So many body-tempering pills, and the medicinal power is so potent." Tai San frowned slightly, his eyes clearly showing his dissatisfaction. Qin Nan closed the box and asked his third uncle where his father was. Thayat Tam coldly turned and left, leaving only a single reply, "He's at the family meeting." Suddenly, his footsteps halted. Tai San warned Qin Nan in a cold voice, "I don't know what you're trying to do, but right now, you're just trash. And yet you had your father get you 500 body-tempering pills. Do you have any idea what this has caused? Do you know what you've done to your father?" Qin Nan was startled and asked in a panic, "What happened to my father? Did something happen?" Tai San, not expecting him to be clueless, gritted his teeth and replied, "What happened? It's all because of you? Because of your 500 body-tempering pills. At this family council meeting, your father is being impeached by the Great Elder and Qin Changkong's faction. Your father might lose his position as patriarch, and it's all your fault." His anger surging, Qin Nan's eyes widened as he yelled, "What?" He unleashed a powerful aura, cracking the ground beneath his feet. In a furious tone, he roared, "They want to impeach my father." Tai San exclaimed in shock, "Fourth-level body-tempering realm. How is this possible?" But at that moment, Qin Nan was blinded by rage, his mind filled with only thoughts of revenge. He growled, "Qin Taiba, Qin Changkong. You have some nerve, you dare to impeach my father. Do you really think that I, Qin Nan, am so easy to bully and humiliate?" In the Qin family's council hall, the entrance was heavily guarded. Inside, all the powerful figures of the clan had gathered. Qin Changkong, relying on his awakened, yellow-grade 5th-rank martial soul and abundant cultivation resources, had reached the 3rd level of the body-tempering realm. He spoke arrogantly, "Patriarch, as the #1 genius of the Qin family, I only receive 10 body-tempering pills per month. Even with the family's special consideration, I get no more than 20 pills a month. I want to ask the patriarch, on what grounds did you give 500 body-tempering pills to that trash Qin Nan? Is it just because he's your son? Qin Taiba smirked smugly from the side. Qin Shan calmly replied, that's right, it is because Qin Nan is my son, although I was selfish. In allocating 500 body-tempering pills to my son, I also used my own cultivation resources to compensate for them. By doing so, the Qin family suffered no loss. Qin Taiba seized the opportunity to stand up and rebuke him. A fine, the Qin family suffered no loss. Our Qin family only produces so many body-tempering pills each year. You took 500 for your trash son. What about everyone else? As the patriarch, you didn't use the resources on a genius, but instead wasted them on trash. I feel you are no longer qualified to hold the position of the Qin family's patriarch. The gossiping disciples whispered amongst themselves, while the other elders remained silent, not interfering. One was even sipping tea. Qin Chin sneered mockingly. Great elder, you want to impeach me over this? He released a powerful pressure, suppressing them. Today, I'd like to see what ability you have to impeach me. Qin Shan declared coldly. I, Qin Shan, am in the Xiantian realm, the only one in the entire Qin family. On what grounds do you think you're qualified to impeach me? Qin Taiba arrogantly retorted. Qin Chen, this is your style, relying on your own cultivation to ignore the rules. Doing whatever you please. Do you really think you can rule the Qin family with an iron fist? He quickly rallied the others and revealed a piece of news. I have some news for everyone. Just the day before yesterday, Changkong was noticed by the Xuanling Sect. They have decided to accept disciples into the Xuanling Sect, and in 5 days, the Xuanling Sect will come to Linshui City to conduct the selection. Qin Shan was also startled to hear this name, and the disciples immediately broke into an uproar, whispering amongst themselves. The Xuanling Sect, one of the 4 great sects of the Liu Kingdom, with power that even surpasses the entire kingdom, is the holy land of martial arts. For all young people, as long as one becomes a disciple of the Xuanling Sect, their status will soar to the heavens. In the history of the Qin family, no disciple has ever managed to enter the Xuanling Sect. Someone couldn't hold back and rushed forward to confirm with the great elder. Is this true? The Xuanling Sect usually holds selections once every 3 years, but it's only been 2 years since the last one. That's right, Taiba confidently affirmed. This selection is being held ahead of schedule. Qin Changkong also stepped forward, taking the opportunity to rally everyone to his side, saying the Qin family patriarch is mixing public and private affairs, giving 500 body-tempering pills to a piece of trash. He is fundamentally unworthy of continuing as the patriarch of the Qin family. He pointed directly at Qin Shen, demanding, therefore, I propose we remove Qin Shen from his position as patriarch. The man remained calmly seated and replied in a cold voice, everyone here, although I selfishly gave 500 body-tempering pills to my son, I also used my own cultivation resources to compensate for it. Qin Qin assured them again, furthermore, have I, Qin Shen, ever made an empty promise? From the day I became the patriarch of the Qin family until now, I have devoted my heart and soul to the entire Qin family, trying everything to make our family stronger. In the 5 years I have been patriarch, I can't claim to have achieved much, but I dare say that under my leadership, the Qin family has changed and grown stronger. During this martial soul awakening, my son went from a genius to a piece of trash, and the pressure from that was immense. I am not only the patriarch of the Qin family, but I am also Qin Nan's father. This was the first time Qin Nan ever asked me for anything, so as his father, I had to agree. Besides, as I've said, I will return all of my future cultivation resources to the family. After laying out all his thoughts, Qin Shan concluded, this is all I have to say. I hope you can all continue to support me. The disciples stared at him, stunned and silent, but before they could recover, Elder Chen suddenly spoke up. I agree with Qin Changkong, let's remove Qin Shan. With someone taking the lead, the disciples immediately changed their tune and began to shout. Yes, that's right, Qin Shan, you're no longer qualified to be the patriarch. Step down immediately. I support removing Qin Shan. I've disliked you for a long time, and now you're taking so many body-tempering pills for that trash son of yours. Is that what a patriarch should do? Qin Shan, you should have given those body-tempering pills to young Master Qin Changkong. That's what you should have done. Ridiculous. Our Qin family's growth has nothing to do with you, Qin Shan. It's all because of our own hard work. Condemn Qin Shan. We absolutely cannot let someone like him hold the position of patriarch. Qin Shan smiled bitterly, nodding as he accepted the reality. So this is how it is. So this is how it is. In that case, I agree. But before he could finish, a loud crash came from the entrance, as someone broke down the door and stormed in. A gust of wind blew into the hall as Qin Nan calmly stepped inside, his expression radiating an imposing aura as he shouted in a stern voice. You want to condemn my father? The entire hall was shocked to see the newcomer, and everyone exclaimed in unison, Qin Nan. Taiba angrily stood up and scolded, Qin Nan, you have a lot of nerve, are you trying to rebel? Qin also frowned and urged, son, what are you doing? This is not a place for you, leave at once, but Qin Nan's expression remained grim as he asked again, I'll ask one more time, do you want to condemn my father and strip him of his position as patriarch? Qin Changkong roared in anger, insolent, who do you think you are, a piece of trash with a yellow-grade first-rank martial soul? Dares to shout and make a scene here. Taiba turned to threaten Qin Qian, if you don't make your son get out, don't blame me for what happens next. The disciples also jeered in unison, their faces twisted as they spat everywhere. A piece of trash dares to cause a scene here. He's courting death. What is a good-for-nothing like him doing here? He even dared to kick down the main gate of the council hall. How outrageous. The whole crowd clamored to condemn Qin Qian. His son is clearly a good-for-nothing. And yet he's so arrogant. If Qin Qian continues as the family head, heaven knows what other trouble his good-for-nothing son will cause. That's right, condemn Qin Nan. We must condemn this good-for-nothing son of his. He's a real menace to society. Qin Qian bore the brunt of everyone's anger, closing his eyes warily as he said, my son, you should leave, you shouldn't be here. But Qin Nan stood his ground firmly. Father, don't worry, I'm here, they won't be able to condemn you. Qin Qian sighed, a wary look covering his face. Devoid of the dignity of a family head, my son, this has nothing to do with you. Stop being so stubborn and get out now. Qin Changkong sneered mockingly, want to leave? It's not that easy, he pointed at Qin Nan's face and loudly accused. Qin Qian gave this piece of trash 500 body tempering pills. What a complete waste. Hand over the body tempering pills now. You're not worthy of using so many body tempering pills, Qin Changkong threatened smugly. Furthermore, you trespassed into the council hall and kicked down the main gate. Your behavior is absolutely atrocious. Kneel and admit your mistake, or I'll break both of your legs. Qin Nan retorted with a cold laugh, you want me to hand over the body tempering pills and kneel to admit my mistake? You're not nearly qualified enough. He spoke with cold disdain, Qin Changkong, you call me a good-for-nothing, but in my eyes, you're even worse than that. Humiliated, Qin Changkong gritted his teeth in anger. You're courting death. He stomped his foot and leaped forward, closing the distance between them. Spiritual energy gathered in Qin Changkong's palm as he prepared to attack. Qin Qian jumped up worriedly and shouted, my son, but that Taiba guy stopped him. Even taking the opportunity to criticize, Qin Qian, your son trespassed into the council hall, spoke with arrogance, and has no respect for anyone. He must be reprimanded. Are you trying to cover for his faults? Qin Qian hesitated, unable to refute. At this moment, Qin Nan, full of confidence, his eyes glinting sharply, gave a cunning smile. Father, you don't need to intervene. He channeled his spiritual energy to meet Qin Changkong's attack, saying arrogantly, watch me put down this dog. The two streams of spiritual energy collided, and Qin Changkong gradually lost ground. Gritting his teeth and refusing to back down, but in the end, he was still sent flying backward by Qin Nan. The people in the hall realized in shock, fourth-level body tempering realm. The corner of Qin Changkong's mouth twitched, his resentful voice crying out, impossible. Lying on the ground, he demanded, how did you break through to the fourth-level body tempering realm? Your martial soul is just a trashy yellow-grade first rank. How could you possibly break through to the fourth-level body tempering realm? Qin Nan calmly released his aura and coldly asked back, now, who's the good-for-nothing? Qin Qian was also surprised. My son, your cultivation level. Qin Nan calmly explained, Father, a few days ago I went to the Longhu mountain range to train and had a fortuitous encounter, which is why my cultivation broke through to the fourth-level body tempering realm. I will report the details to you later, Qin Qian exclaimed joyfully, a fortuitous encounter. Good, that's truly wonderful. Let's see who dares to call my son a good-for-nothing now. The disciples immediately changed their attitude, whispering among themselves as they considered which side to take. Qin Nan lowered his head to hide his anger, and then bluntly exposed them. You all thought I was a good-for-nothing. Thought my father shouldn't have given a loser like me 500 body tempering pills. And so you wanted to condemn my father's position as family head. Now that I've proven I'm not a good-for-nothing, do you still want to condemn my father? At this moment, Qin Changkong also struggled to his feet, wiping the blood from the corner of his mouth as he laughed maniacally. I can't believe a piece of trash like you got so damn lucky and had a fortuitous encounter. So what if you're at the 4th level body tempering realm? You're still a good for nothing. Qin Nan frowned and asked, so, you're not convinced? Qin Changkong shouted angrily, of course I'm not convinced, I was just careless a moment ago. That's how you managed to ambush me? Qin Nan, even though your cultivation has reached the 4th level body tempering realm, your martial soul is still a trashy yellow grade 1st rank. I am the true chosen one. Do you really think you can defeat a chosen one? Kneel and apologize to me at once. Or else, Qin Nan declared with annoyed contempt, you talk too much. If you're not convinced, then let's fight. He released his white tiger martial soul. Since you want to die, I'll grant you your wish. Today, I will make you fully understand the difference between a genius and a waste. Changkong arrogantly challenged Qin Nan. As long as you can defeat me, we will absolutely not move to dismiss Qin from his position as the family head. How about it? Qin Nan released his spiritual energy and calmly replied. Bring it on. Qin panicked and tried to dissuade him. My son, you can't. Qin Changkong possesses a yellow grade 5th rank martial soul, even if you are at the 4th layer of the body tempering realm. You're fundamentally no match for him. You've done very well today, and your father is already satisfied. We can do without the position of family head. Hearing this, Changkong laughed even more smugly. Did you hear that? Even your own father doesn't want you to fight me, so what if you had a fortuitous encounter? So what if your cultivation is high? Get this straight, you are the waste, your whole family are wastes. Suddenly, Qin Nan appeared behind him and said with a gentle smile. Sap. He slapped Changkong straight across the face. That single slap sent him flying straight into a wall, and Changkong roared in fury. Qin Nan, you dare to sneak attack me, I'm going to kill you. He raised his hand and used a high-level martial skill, White Tiger devouring prey. At Changkong's command, the White Tiger roared and charged towards Qin Nan. The surrounding disciples gasped in horror when they saw it. White Tiger devouring prey. It's another high-level martial skill, and rumor has it that this skill is extremely difficult to master. Once mastered, it can assimilate with any martial soul, and its power is immense. Moreover, Qin Changkong's martial soul is a white tiger, making its power even more terrifying. A few elders also boasted proudly, this martial skill seems tailor-made for Changkong. It hasn't even been half a month, and he has already comprehended this martial skill. A yellow grade 5th rank martial soul is truly extraordinary. That waste Qin Nan is in for some bad luck now. Other disciples chimed in with taunts. Qin Nan doesn't know his own limits. Does he think a few lucky encounters make him the best in the world? Let's see how young Master Qin Changkong teaches this waste a lesson. Only Qin Shen, genuinely worried for him, shouted a warning. It's this martial skill again, my son. Be careful. Taiba quickly stepped forward to stop him. The old man released his spiritual energy, threatening Qin Shen. Let the younger generation resolve their own matters. We elders shouldn't interfere. Qin Shen gritted his teeth, wanting to curse him. At the same time, the white tiger was still charging fiercely towards Qin Nan. Seeing him standing still without moving, even with his eyes closed, the disciples began to mock him. This waste is just standing there, not moving. Has he been scared stiff? Probably. He was so aggressive and arrogant just a moment ago. Turns out it was all just a bluff. A waste is a waste. How can he be compared to a genius like young Master Qin Changkong? At this moment, Changkong also charged forward, gritting his teeth and yelling, Qin Nan, go to hell. The white tiger opened its mouth and roared, preparing to attack him. Suddenly, Qin Nan opened his eyes, a golden light flashing in his pupils, as one hand gripped the hilt of his saber. His body spun, unleashing a terrifying power. Qin Nan swung his saber forcefully, cleaving the white tiger in two, the fierce aura forcing Changkong to shield his face with his hand. Not only that, after destroying the white tiger, the saber strike continued straight towards him, carrying the full force of the attack. Knocking Changkong to the ground, the entire hall fell silent, witnessing his defeat, and a few elders cried out in shock. This is the legendary unity of man and saber. Unity of man and saber. Qin Nan has comprehended the state of unity of man and saber. How is this possible? Qin Shen was also endlessly astonished. My son. He stroked his beard and laughed proudly, truly worthy of being my son, to be able to hone his saber skills to this level. Although he hasn't achieved true unity of man and saber, he has found the right path. Finishing his words, Qin Shen glanced at the people around him. Good. Let's see who still dares to call my son a waste. The hall was silent. No one dared to utter a word. Tai Bei's expression was as ugly as if he'd swallowed a fly. Changkong clutched his body and struggled to his feet, his voice filled with unwillingness. Impossible, how can this be? He cursed furiously, a piece of trash like you. How could you possibly defeat me? I'm the genius, you're just a waste. Qin Nan sneered, his eyes filled with contempt. Qin Changkong, don't think your yellow grade 5th rank martial soul is so impressive. There's always someone better out there, so don't think too highly of yourself. In my eyes, you're less than an ant. Qin Changkong was boiling with rage, gritting his teeth as he threatened. Qin Nan, I will never forgive you. Trash will always be trash, so what if you defeated me today? I'm going to be a disciple of the Xuanling sect, while you will be nothing in the future. After saying that, he turned to leave with Tai Ba. Father, let's go. Qin Nan held his saber and looked over the remaining people. Warning, do you all still wish to condemn my father? Is it wrong for my father to give me 500 body tempering pills? The disciples forced fearful smiles and automatically took a step back, their tone fawning. How could that be? For Patriarch Qin Chin to support a family genius like this? How could that possibly be wrong? The others also changed their stance in agreement. Right, that's right. I think allocating 500 body tempering pills was actually a bit too little. We should add more. Patriarch, I suggest giving young Master Qin Nan another 500 body tempering pills. After a moment, they started cheering in support. That's right. Young Master Qin Nan is the #1 genius of our Qin family, so it's worth spending a few more body tempering pills. The position of Patriarch of our Qin family can only be handled by Patriarch Qin Chen. Qin Chen sighed in disappointment at the bunch of sycophants. He walked down and called, My son, let's go, but Qin Nan stopped him. Father, wait a moment. I still have something to say to the deacons here. After a moment, he looked directly at the elders and spoke frankly. You are all deacons of the Qin family, and by rights, you are my elders, but after today's events, you are no longer elders in my eyes. Qin Nan calmly delivered his criticism. In my eyes, you are all just a bunch of sycophants, siding with whoever is stronger. This time, you condemned my father's position as patriarch, claiming it was because he gave 500 body tempering pills to a good-for-nothing like me, and failed to consider the bigger picture. Ignoring their guilty expressions, Qin Nan continued to expose them. Who does the Qin family rely on for its current prosperity? It relies on my father. Even if my father hasn't made grand contributions, he has made countless efforts, allocating 500 body tempering pills to his own son. So what? Besides, my father used his own stipend to cover the cost. His tone was filled with annoyance and contempt. Your attitude has thoroughly disappointed me. You don't see my father's contributions, only that Qin Changkong is becoming a disciple of the Xuanling sect. Let me tell you, it's not even certain that Qin Changkong will become a disciple of the Xuanling sect, Qin Nan declared as he turned to leave. That's all I have to say. The choice is yours to make. I know Qin Taiba won't let this rest, and Qin Changkong won't let it rest either, but I'll give you one piece of sincere advice. Don't regret your choice later. With his words finished, the scene shifts to the Qin family's training ground. A person excitedly jumped down, calling out to everyone there, Hey everybody stop. It was Qin Hai, a follower of the genius disciple Qin Changkong, who possessed a yellow grade 4th rank martial soul, excitedly asked, Do you all know what major event just occurred in the Qin family? A few younger disciples asked curiously, Brother Qin Hai, what big event happened in the family? Qin Hai crossed his arms and said arrogantly, At this family meeting, Big Brother Qin Changkong is condemning Qin Chin's position as patriarch. Qin Chin is done for, the other disciples asked in astonishment. What? Qin Changkong dares to condemn the patriarch? Even though he's the family's #1 genius, isn't this a bit too arrogant? After all, Qin Chin is the top expert in the Qin family. Qin Hai stated confidently, there's absolutely no way Qin Chin can hold on to his position as patriarch, because Big Brother Qin Changkong is destined to become a disciple of the Xuanling sect. In 5 days, an elder from the Xuanling sect will arrive in Linshui City to officially accept Big Brother Qin Changkong as a disciple. Upon hearing that name, the crowd gasped in shock. The Xuanling sect, they shouted in admiration, all of them siding with Changkong. Big Brother Changkong has been acknowledged by the Xuanling sect and is becoming their disciple, truly worthy of being our Qin family's #1 genius. It's right to condemn him. Qin Chin allocated 500 body tempering pills to that waste of space Qin Nan. He's completely unfit to be the patriarch of our Qin family. Qin Chin broke the rules for personal matters. He deserves to be condemned. Big Brother Qin Changkong did a great job. Seeing public opinion turn, Qin Hai thought with a sly grin. This time Qin Chin will lose his position as the family head, and that piece of trash Qin Nan will be out of luck too. Suddenly, a panicked shout rang out, Bad news. A disciple rushed over to report that something major had happened. Something major has happened. The latest news is that Qin Nan trespassed into the council hall in the Longhu mountain range, had a fortuitous encounter, and his cultivation has broken through to the 4th layer of the body tempering realm. He defeated Qin Changkong with a single strike and unleashed an incredibly powerful martial soul. The group of disciples who were just laughing and joking now had grim, disbelieving faces. What? Inside Qin Changkong's grand courtyard, Changkong was furious, clenching his fists and cursing. I want to kill him. I absolutely have to kill him. That piece of trash defeated me. How could he? On what grounds? Taiba had to step in and remind his son, calm down a little. In 5 days, an elder from the Xuanling sect will arrive in Linshui City. At that time, Bai Heng will take you as his disciple, and we can avenge today's humiliation, ensuring that the father and son duo, Qin Nan and Qin Chen, will never be able to make a comeback. Changkong's face twisted as he declared with determination, Qin Nan, in 5 days you will die in a secret chamber of the Fang family. The room was dark, illuminated only by a few candles. Fang Lai, the head of the Fang family and father of Fang Su, sat solemnly on a chair holding a fan and asked, Elder Bai Heng, how much longer until he arrives in Linshui City? The young man opposite him replied with a cunning smile, he will arrive in 3 days. This was Fang Rulong, son of Fang Lai. An older brother of Fang Su, he reported, Elder Bai Heng told the Qin family he would arrive in 5 days, so the 2-day gap is enough for us to set things up. Fang Lai praised him with satisfaction. Very good. I'd like to see what path of survival the Qin family has left this time. Fang Rulong asked seriously, Father, I still don't see the point of this plan. What is the Qin family even worth? That so-called genius of theirs, Qin Changkong, is just a piece of trash in my eyes. Nothing to be afraid of at all. Fang Lai explained to him. You don't understand, the disciples of the Qin family, with their yellow grade 5th rank and yellow grade 4th rank martial souls, have great potential for future growth. We want the complete annihilation of the Qin family, not to leave behind any future trouble. Rulong snorted coldly, thinking disdainfully, a bunch of ants then. Fang Lai suddenly asked, I heard that Qin Nan defeated Qin Changkong. Rulong replied arrogantly, his tone full of contempt, he's just an ant with a yellow grade 1st rank martial soul. So what if he defeated Qin Changkong? I could crush Qin Changkong with just one hand. A piece of trash like Qin Nan is nothing to be afraid of. Hearing this, his father nodded in agreement. That's right, a piece of trash with a yellow grade 1st rank martial soul. What kind of trouble could he possibly cause? It seems I was overthinking things. Putting that aside, Fang Lai asked again, by the way, is there any news about your younger sister? Rulong shook his head sadly. No, his father scolded in annoyance that Fang Su is getting more and more out of hand. Fang Lai then ordered, all right, you may go now. Go and prepare well. In 5 days, I want you to take care of all the Qin family disciples in front of the Xuanling sect elder. Rulong bowed obediently and replied, yes. The scene shifts to Qin Chen's residence in the Qin family compound. Taiba bowed sincerely and said, young master, I was just being impatient before. Please don't take my words to heart. Qin Nan replied with a gentle smile. It's all right, third uncle. I know you were doing it for my father's sake. Qin Chen spoke up and advised, my son, although Qin Taiba and his group failed this time, they absolutely will not let this go easily. He couldn't help but remind him worriedly, in 5 days, the Xuanling sect will come to accept Changkong as a disciple. At that point, my position as the family head will surely be impossible to keep. Furthermore, you've offended the father and son duo, Qin Taiba and Qin Changkong. They will definitely not let you off easily, and will certainly come after you, with the Xuanling sect backing them, if they want to take revenge on you. Even I won't have the ability to protect you. Worried like a mother hen, Qin Chen nagged, therefore, while the people from the Xuanling sect haven't arrived yet, you should quickly pack your things and leave the Qin family. But Qin Nan was very firm, Father, I will not leave. If the father and son duo, Qin Taiba and Qin Changkong, want to deal with me, then let them come. He wasn't afraid. Even after all that, his decision remained unshaken. Qin Chen hesitated, my son. Not letting him say more, Qin Nan replied with a cunning smile, Father, I have my own plans. You don't need to worry. They're just 2 nasty dogs. It's not certain they can do anything to me. Back in his room, he immediately sat cross-legged on the bed, looking at the bed filled with pills. Qin Nan excitedly thought, with so many body-tempering pills, I wonder what level I can raise the war god soul to. Let's give it a try now, and just as expected, he later successfully leveled up, his body condensing a powerful pillar of spiritual energy. The war god soul appeared behind Qin Nan. He slowly swallowed the pills one by one, and the stream of spiritual energy was sucked into his body. The war god soul released an invisible suction force, completely absorbing the medicinal power of the body-tempering pills. Checking the results, Qin Nan thought with disappointment, 10 body-tempering pills can't make the war god's soul level up. He looked at the remaining pills and calculated. It seems that, based on the war god's soul's current level, I'll need to increase the number of body-tempering pills to level up. Let's try again and see exactly how many body-tempering pills it takes to make the war god's soul level up. Qin Nan continued to swallow more pills, 30 pills, 80 pills, until the count grew from double digits to triple digits. 170 pills, 350 pills, holding the 490th pill, Qin Nan frowned, still no level up. It seems this really isn't easy at all. He looked at the remaining pills anxiously. Only the last 10 body-tempering pills are left. I'll swallow them all at once and see if I can level up. Qin Nan then swallowed all the pills at the same time. Suddenly, the eyes of the war god's soul flashed brightly, and a wave of power radiated out. He quickly regulated his breathing and saw the 8th ray of light behind his back. Qin Nan was overjoyed. It finally leveled up. Suddenly, the war god's soul revealed human-like eyes, which were no longer the pure black from before. He was startled and wondered. The war god's soul has changed too. Suddenly, Qin Nan noticed something outside his window. In his vision, the tree trunk looked like it was magnified 10 times. Qin Nan was astonished. I can even see the patterns on the bark so clearly. He quickly looked elsewhere, and could even see a frog and everything under the water. My eyesight has improved again, Qin Nan excitedly said to himself. It seems taking these pills not only raises the rank of the war god soul, but also enhances other aspects. He was incredibly excited, imagining this time, my comprehension ability has also increased, which is probably related to the war god soul. Now it has even improved my physical abilities. This war god soul is truly terrifying beyond belief. With such a terrifying war god soul, what heights can I reach in this lifetime? Qin Nan stepped outside, his expression serious. War god soul, I cannot fight recklessly, and I must not lose. Suddenly, he realized something. I have such a powerful martial soul. My future is unimaginable. I want to enter the Xuanling sect. Only by entering the Xuanling sect can I truly understand this world and step into this vast land. Qin Nan's face revealed a murderous intent as he muttered a curse at Qin Changkong. Do you really think you can sit comfortably in the position of a Xuanling sect disciple? In 5, I will show you what a true genius is, and who really deserves to be a disciple of the Xuanling sect. The sky was clear and blue with gentle white clouds, and the hustle and bustle from below echoed all around. In a roadside tea house, many people were chatting. Have you heard? In 5 days, the Xuanling sect is coming to Linshui City to recruit disciples. They say Qin Changkong of the Qin family is already guaranteed to become a disciple of the Xuanling sect, Qin Changkong. You mean the guy who was defeated by that piece of trash Qin Nan? What right does he have to become a Xuanling sect disciple? The young master of the Fang family, Fang Rulong, is the best candidate for that spot. Hearing that conversation, someone else chimed in curiously. Qin Nan defeated Qin Changkong. How is that even possible? Qin Changkong is a peerless genius with a yellow grade 5th rank martial soul, while Qin Nan is just trash with a yellow grade 1st rank martial soul. How could he possibly defeat Qin Changkong? Someone else confirmed. It's true, my brother's wife's sister's cousin works as a handyman at the Qin family. At that time, he was sweeping outside the Qin family's council hall and saw with his own eyes Qin Nan defeat Qin Changkong with just one move. Meanwhile, Qin Nan was still diligently cultivating. The 4th level of the body tempering realm is about tempering the internal organs, making one's own internal organs more resilient, while the 5th level elevates the skin, muscles, bones, and internal organs all to another level, making them even more powerful. If one reaches the 5th level of the body tempering realm, they can become impervious to blades and immune to fire and water. Qin Nan's eyes widened as he said with firm determination. Now is the time to break through to the 5th level of the body tempering realm. The war god soul appeared, and along with his powerful spiritual energy, the power condensed around Qin Nan's body, causing him pain. 5 dazzling red spots of light appeared inside Qin Nan's body. 5 hours later, the clouds in the sky were still drifting gently. Qin Nan stood up, unleashing his spiritual energy and shouting, "Break for me." He felt the change within his body. Is this the power of the 5th level of the body tempering realm? It's twice as powerful as the 4th level. Just then, Tai San opened the door and came in, calling for young master Qin Nan. As soon as he saw him, he realized in astonishment, "Young master, You've broken through to the 5th level of the body tempering realm. Qin Nan gave a pre-prepared excuse. I had a fortunate encounter in the Longhu Mountains, where I obtained a celestial spiritual herb. When I broke through to the 4th level of the body tempering realm before, I hadn't fully refined it. So these past few days, I relied on the remaining medicinal power to break through to the 5th level of the body tempering realm. He thought to himself, the peerless war god soul is too heaven-defying. It absolutely cannot be revealed, or it will surely lead to a great disaster. Qin Nan changed the subject, asking third uncle, did you come looking for me for something? Tai San then asked seriously, tomorrow is the Xuanling Sect's disciple recruitment ceremony. The family head asked me to come and ask you if you're planning to participate. Qin Nan smiled lightly and replied firmly, participate, of course I'll participate. Tai San immediately began to explain that this Xuanling Sect disciple recruitment is being jointly organized by the Qin and Fang families, and is divided into 2 rounds. He explained that for the first round, the Fang and Qin families will each send 30 disciples to compete by drawing lots. Only the top 5 winners can participate in the second round. Tai San added, for the second round, you can probably guess. It's the martial soul examination to test the grade of one's martial soul. As for how many people will be selected in the end, the people from the Xuanling sect haven't revealed it yet. Qin Nan nodded in understanding and asked, I see, so where is it being held? Tai San's face darkened as he replied, the venue is at the Fang family's residence. A glint flashed in Qin Nan's eyes, the Fang family. The Fang family hid the matter of Fang Rulong's martial soul, and now they're hosting the Xuanling Sect's disciple recruitment ceremony at their home. The Fang family must be plotting something against our Qin family. Despite this thought, Qin Nan was still extremely confident, telling himself, but no matter what earth-shattering scheme the Fang family has, I will cut it down with a single slash. Qin Nan and Tai San stood talking in the middle of the courtyard. He asked curiously, by the way, young master, I heard from the family head that you used the thundering saber technique to defeat Changkong last time. He frankly admitted that's right, third uncle, with good intentions. Tai San took out a martial arts manual. I also happen to cultivate the thundering saber technique, and I have quite a few insights on it. He generously handed his manual to Qin Nan. I'm giving this to you, young master, to look over. I hope it can be of some help to you. This book was indeed very useful to him. Qin Nan was extremely grateful to receive this gift. Third uncle had been immersed in the thundering saber technique for 15 years, and had reached the realm of unity between man and saber. His insights were incredibly precious, and would be extremely beneficial for my own understanding of the thundering saber technique. He bowed respectfully, and thanked him. Thank you for your kindness, third uncle. Qin Nan was beyond grateful, as Tai San was always willing to offer his support. Young master, your talent for martial skills has surpassed everyone in the city since you were a child. No one can compare, making you perfectly suited for these cultivation notes of mine, before the Xuanling Sect's disciple recruitment ceremony. There is still one day. I will stay here, so if you have any questions, feel free to ask me. He was truly grateful for his kindness. This is great, then I'll have to trouble you, third uncle. In the quiet courtyard, only the rustling of leaves could be heard. Tai San and Xiao Qin stood under the eaves, silently watching Qin Nan focus on his cultivation. He muttered to himself, with 1 day's time, I wonder to what level the young master can comprehend it. Suddenly, dark clouds gathered, covering the blue sky, and thunder and lightning followed. In just a moment, it began to rain, with raindrops pattering down on the ancient roof tiles. But even though it was raining, he ignored the weather and immersed himself in his studies, while she stood by, worried about Qin Nan's well-being. The rain is so heavy, Uncle Tai. Will the young master be all right? Should we wake him up? However, Tai Ba thought differently. He didn't want to interrupt him. There's no need to disturb the young master. He's at a critical moment of enlightenment. Abundant streams of light began to radiate from all over Qin Nan's body, enveloping him like a sphere. This was a completely new realm that he had absorbed. Tai Ba was incredibly surprised to witness that phenomenon. This is saber intent. It's the comprehension of the unity of man and saber reaching a certain profound level. One must reach the major accomplishment stage to grasp it. He was astonished by the speed of Qin Nan's cultivation progress, just 1 day ago. The young master had only just reached the initial stage of the unity of man and saber, and now he has already reached this level. The young master's comprehension ability is terrifying. Xiao Qin, standing beside him, praised him with great admiration. The young master is so amazing. Tai Ba let out a soft breath, hesitating slightly. It's just a pity that the young master's martial soul is only a yellow grade first rank, otherwise his future in martial arts would be limitless, becoming a dragon among men. As for her, she just kept sighing, the young master is so handsome, the young master is so handsome. It seemed like a long time had passed. The rain had stopped, giving way to the bright sun. He looked up, surprised, it's morning already. I was in a state of enlightenment. For such a long time. Qin Nan was quite satisfied with the new level he had cultivated. However, the gains this time were unusually abundant. Tai Bei approached to congratulate Qin Nan. Congratulations, young master, on grasping the saber intent of the unity of man and saber, and reaching the major accomplishment stage. He also replied politely. I must also thank you for your cultivation notes, Uncle Tai. He denied the credit and affirmed Qin Nan's ability. A young master, you are too modest. My cultivation notes were merely a supplementary aid, being able to quickly comprehend the realm of the unity of man and saber is still due to your own powerful talent. He suddenly remembered something and immediately asked, "All right, Uncle Tai, you just mentioned. What is the major accomplishment stage of the unity of man and saber?" Tai Bei began to probe for a diagnosis. A young master, let me ask you first, do you currently have this kind of feeling? That the saber technique you've grasped completely surpasses the power of the thundering saber technique? Qin Nan admitted, that's exactly right. So what does that mean? He patiently explained the definition to him. Everyone knows that martial skills are divided into beginner, intermediate, advanced, and ultimate. Simply put, the higher the level of the martial skill, the greater the power it unleashes. But this is just a common understanding. Tai Bei slowly recounted the basic details. When you cultivate a martial skill to a certain level, such as the unity of man and saber, it can no longer be compared by its grade, because it is a type of realm. A realm. Qin Nan asked curiously after hearing this. His affirmation was extremely firm. That's right, the stronger this type of realm is, the greater the power you can wield. For example, there's the unity of man and saber, and even the unity of man and sword, which are collectively called the unity of man and weapon. This is a type of realm. Within it, it's divided into initial accomplishment, major accomplishment, and perfected, 3 different levels. Tai Bei shared what he knew. After the unity of man and weapon, there is an even higher realm called the micro-intent realm, and there are even higher realms after that. He nodded, seeming to have understood the matter. So that's how it is. He began to urge Qin Nan to prepare for departure. Young master, it's already daylight. Why don't we set off now and meet up with the rest of the Qin family at the Fang family's residence to participate in the Xuanling Sect's disciple recruitment ceremony? All right. Seeing the 2 of them about to leave, Xiao Qin eagerly wanted to follow. A young master, I want to go too. The scene changes to the vast courtyard of the Qin family, where everyone was fully gathered. They noticed that Qin Changkong was also standing there, waiting with the crowd. Qin Shin stood on a high platform, clearing his throat to address the crowd. Everyone, he enthusiastically announced the event. Today is a great and joyous day as the Xuanling sect has come to Linshui City to recruit disciples. Qin Shin explained the reason for this grand gathering, the status of the Xuanling sect in the Luo kingdom. I don't need to say much. I'm sure you all know that if you can become a disciple of the Xuanling sect, not only will it be a meteoric rise, but your future prospects will be limitless. Our Qin family will also rise with the tide, becoming the #1 family in Linshui City. Therefore, I hope that every Qin family disciple participating in the Xuanling sect's recruitment ceremony will give it their all, and show the Xuanling sect the caliber of our family's disciples. He took out the carefully screened results list. I will now announce the names of those selected to participate in the Xuanling sect's disciple recruitment ceremony. When your name is called, step forward. The crowd below cheered for the prominent names. They favored Changkong, Tan Hai, Tan Shu Bao, Tan Sang Lin. But contrary to everyone's expectations, Qin Shin read out the final name, Qin Nan. Hearing his name, the onlookers immediately began to mock him. Qin Nan is on the list. A piece of trash with a yellow-grade first-rank martial soul, becoming a disciple of the Xuanling sect is nothing but a fool's dream. Only she was genuinely happy for him. The young master made it. The young master is so amazing. Young master, you can definitely become a disciple of the Xuanling sect. Another person joked maliciously. Yeah, right. If Qin Nan can become a disciple of the Xuanling sect, I'll eat crap right here and now. But another person offered a different perspective. It's not entirely impossible. Don't you all forget what happened a few days ago. Qin Nan defeated Changkong, our Qin family's #1 genius, in a single blow. Shut your mouth. Are you looking for a death wish? The man standing nearby was so furious his veins bulged. Changkong cut him off to voice his own opinion. Wait a minute, Patriarch, Qin Nan is nothing but a waste with a yellow-grade first-rank martial soul. What right does he have to participate in the Xuanling Sect's disciple recruitment ceremony? These demeaning words made Qin Nan's face darken as he stood behind them. Remaining silent, Elder Chen agreed, chiming in to support Changkong. Patriarch, young Master Changkong is right. What right does a waste like him have to participate in the Xuanling Sect's disciple recruitment ceremony? It's a complete waste of a spot, the third elder proposed. Revoke Qin Nan's qualification. Our Qin family only has a total of 10 spots, and we absolutely cannot waste one on a good-for-nothing. Patriarch, I propose we revoke Qin Nan's qualification for the Xuanling Sect's disciple recruitment ceremony. The crowd below echoed their demands. I agree. Seeing that the majority was on his side, the man shot a smug look at Qin Nan. A waste like you dares to compete with me. Just watch how I'll ruin you. Qin spoke up in his defense, silencing everyone. Qin Nan is not a waste. Although his martial soul is only yellow-grade first rank, his cultivation has reached the 4th layer of the body tempering realm. And he has even comprehended the state of one with the saber. His potential is immense. Why wouldn't he be qualified to participate in the Xuanling Sect's disciple recruitment ceremony? Uncle Tai interjected, dismissing those achievements, immense potential. A yellow-grade first-rank waste just had a lucky break, and his cultivation improved a bit. You call that immense potential? Qin, I think you're getting senile. That old man's rebuttal infuriated the patriarch. Qin scowled and yelled. The spectators, not knowing when to quit, continued their protest. The great elder is right. Qin Nan just got incredibly lucky. He's a flash in the pan. Destined to fade away before our very eyes, a waste like him has absolutely no right to participate in the Xuanling Sect's disciple recruitment ceremony. Revoke Qin Nan's qualification. Hearing the opposition, Xiao Qin became indignant on Qin Nan's behalf. These people are unbelievable. When the young master was a genius, they all followed him around like fawning poodles. But now they're just kicking him while he's down. They're truly inhuman. Uncle Tai, seeing through it all, could only sigh helplessly. This is just human nature and the reality of this world. The strong are revered, and sucking up has become the norm. If young Master Qin Nan had a martial soul as powerful as Changkong's, he wouldn't be treated this way. She grew anxious about his situation. Uncle, will the young master's qualification really be revoked? He remained calm, reassuring him that everything would be fine. Don't worry, young master, although you only have a yellow-grade first-rank martial soul, which will limit your future accomplishments. Your comprehension is extraordinary. You've already mastered the greater success stage of human saber unity, and your cultivation has reached the 5th level of the body tempering realm. For now, these people can't revoke your qualification to compete. Elder Tai used the pressure from the crowd to influence. The final outcome, Qin, do you see this? Disqualifying Qin Nan is the will of the people. What do you have to say now? Qin couldn't go against the will of the people and reluctantly announced his decision. My son, I originally wanted to fight for an opportunity for you, an opportunity to become a disciple of the Xuanling Sect. As it stands, I declare Qin Nan's qualification revoked. Qin Nan could no longer remain silent, rushing forward and interrupting his father. I have something to say. He stood proudly, a lone front, determined to protect his own honor. As if waiting for Qin Nan to speak, his father immediately permitted it. My son, what do you want to say? He openly scorned everyone present. You people keep calling me trash. But did you know that in my eyes, you're not even worthy of being called trash? Qin Nan bluntly pointed at Qin Changkong, holding nothing back as he declared, especially you. He unleashed a torrent of criticism, showing no regard for anyone's dignity. You flaunt your yellow-grade 5th-rank martial soul, looking down on everyone else. Incredibly arrogant, thinking you're some peerless genius. But do you know that in my eyes, you're not even as good as a dog? I can crush you with a single hand. Hearing themselves being called out, the elders became furious, while Qin Changkong trembled with rage. Insolent, audacious, arrogant, Qin Changkong furiously growled each word. Qin Nan, you're courting death. He took the opportunity to lunge at the boy while blaming Qin. Qin, is this the fine son you've raised? Daring to insult an elder and a genius of our Qin family, according to the clan rules, his cultivation must be completely crippled. And he must be expelled from the Qin family. But Elder Tai's outrageous move was blocked by Qin. You dare. Yet, the elder was unafraid and even rebelled. Qin, you dare to protect Qin Nan. I see you no longer want your position as the family head. As a father, Qin Shin could no longer tolerate Elder Tai's insolence. He asserted his authority. Elder Tai, if you dare touch Qin Nan, I will destroy you, even if it costs me my position as family head. Try me if you don't believe it. Backed by the cheers of the crowd, the elder felt empowered to make decisions and hurl insults freely. Fine, I'll give you, Qin Shin, some face today. Qin Nan's cultivation doesn't have to be crippled, but he disrespected the clan rules and was disrespectful to a clan elder. He must be expelled from the Qin family. He must be expelled from the Qin family. Yes, expel him from the Qin family. Elder Tai's arrogance only made Qin Nan burst into a scornful, triumphant laugh. What are you laughing at? Brimming with power, Qin Nan boldly challenged the elders. You think you have what it takes to expel me? I'd really like to see just how you're going to do it. Qin Nan stood proudly in the middle of the hall, his surging power causing the very ground to tremble. Everyone was stunned by the power Qin Nan was displaying. The three elders and Elder Chen were equally shocked. 5th level of the body tempering realm. Greater success stage of human saber unity. How is this possible? In just 5 short days, Qin Nan had made another huge breakthrough. Qin Shin was utterly astonished by his son's level. In just a few short days, my son, he's broken through again. Meanwhile, Qin Changkong in disbelief denied the truth. Impossible, absolutely impossible. How could a piece of trash with a yellow grade first-rank martial soul like you improve so quickly? Qin Nan, his aura soaring, confidently rebuked him. Nothing is impossible. Your perspective is just too narrow. Qin Changkong, I've said it before. In my eyes, you're not even as good as a dog. I can crush you with a single hand. Now, do you submit or not? Perhaps out of sheer jealousy, Qin Changkong refused to acknowledge his talent. I don't submit, so what if you improved quickly, Qin Nan? You just got lucky with some fortunate encounter. In any case, one day, I will show you what a true genius is, and one day, I will crush you under my foot. Qin Nan was also looking forward to that day. His voice laced with contempt. Is that so? Then I'll be waiting for that day. He turned to see the attitude of Tai Ba, the great elder. Wondering if he still wanted to kick him out of the Qin family, Qin Nan politely asked the others, what about you all? The scene just now had been an eye-opener for them. So they awkwardly retracted their objections to young Master Qin Nan. We were just joking with you earlier. Yes, just joking. How could a genius like you be kicked out of the Qin family? We strongly support young Master Qin Nan participating in the Xuanling Sect's disciple recruitment. What a bunch of sycophants. Seeing that the crowd had calmed down, he stuck to the original decision. All right, if no one has any other objections, then let's set off. Afterward, they headed to the Fang family to participate in the assembly. The esteemed guests from the Qin family have arrived, the steward respectfully led them into the estate. This way, please. Fang Lai came out to welcome the Qin family contingent. Members of the Qin family, you've arrived. Forgive my rudeness for not greeting you from further away. He politely asked for their understanding. However, first I must say, Brother Qin Shin, our humble Fang family's accommodations may not be perfect. Please forgive us. Qin Shin didn't care much for such formalities, as the Fang family's estate was already luxurious enough. Brother Fang Lai, let's skip the pleasantries so we don't keep the two elders waiting. They then entered the tournament hall to settle in. Very well, this way please. Meanwhile, he stood behind them, grinding his teeth in resentment, thinking although Qin Shin is still the family head for now, doesn't everyone know that I, Tai Ba, am the one who truly holds power in the Qin family? Fang Lai's words were a clear slap in my face. Tai Ba was arrogant and conceited. Well played, Fang Lai. You just wait. Once my son becomes a disciple of the Xuanling Sect, we'll see how I deal with you. At the Fang family's martial arena, everyone had gathered, waiting for the challenge matches to begin. Fang Rulong stood to one side, glancing arrogantly at each contestant. He immediately recognized who he was and silently sized him up. That must be Fang Rulong. He has a yellow grade 6th rank martial soul, so there's no way he's only at the 3rd layer of the body tempering realm. It seems he's hiding his cultivation level. Qin Nan looked towards the person sitting on the observation platform, guessing that he must be Elder Bai Heng. He could sense Bai Heng's extraordinary aura. The Xuanling sect is truly extraordinary. Just a single elder possesses such a profound aura, a level above his father's, Elder Bai Heng. Gongsu, who was beside him, impressed Qin Nan even more. This woman is even more terrifying. I can't see through her cultivation at all. It's not just ordinarily profound. Gongsu suddenly sensed someone probing her and narrowed her eyes. Looking down, this sudden gaze from Gongsu couldn't help but startle him. Freezing on the spot as if he'd been discovered, Qin Nan felt as if that gaze had seized him, leaving him frozen and bewildered. Gong Su had detected his presence. Perhaps if she had looked any longer, Qin Nan would have turned to stone. Gong Su's gaze contained an oppressive energy that sent a chill down his spine. Fortunately, Qin Nan managed to erect a mental barrier in time to avoid the crushing pressure. He breathed a sigh of relief as he felt the heavy feeling gradually disappear. That brief glance alone had terrorized his inner strength to such an extent. This woman is terrifying. She just casually glanced at me, and I almost lost my composure. She was quite surprised to see him still standing firm after her subtle threat. He was actually able to resist my spiritual pressure. This person is a bit interesting. Qin Nan had to be wary of their peak cultivation levels. Both elders from the Xuanling sect were very powerful. They were at least at the peak of the Xiantian realm or higher. He paid close attention to Gong Su, that woman in particular, who might have even surpassed the Xiantian realm. The Xuanling sect truly lives up to its name. As one of the 4 great sects of the Luo kingdom, it is truly powerful. The disciples admired her beauty and praised her endlessly. Wow, are those the 2 elders from the Xuanling sect? The aura they're emitting is so powerful. That's right, I feel like these 2 elders are much stronger than our family heads. That female elder is so young and so beautiful. That female elder is so young and beautiful. If only I could marry her. Fang Rulong observed their over-the-top behavior. An elder of the Xuanling sect. How can you pieces of trash possibly compete for her? How dare you have such lowly thoughts about an elder of the Xuanling sect? It seems you all have a death wish. Those guys were so shocked by his remarks their jaws dropped, but Changkong calmly stepped forward and confidently retorted. That's not so certain. Who says an elder of the Xuanling sect can't be competed for? I'm determined to have this woman. Fang Rulong scoffed at his abilities. I heard that a few days ago you were defeated by a yellow-grade first-rank piece of trash, and he only used a single move. You can't even beat a yellow-grade first-rank piece of trash, and you call yourself a genius. You're nothing but trash. Trash like you daring to dream about an elder of the Xuanling sect is utterly laughable. Take a good look at yourself, a toad lusting after a swan's flesh. You're just trash. In reality, he himself greatly desired to conquer Gong Su, thinking, only a woman as beautiful as her is worthy of me. Fang Rulong. Just you wait, once I get into the Xuanling sect, I'll hold her in my arms every single night, and yet, those 2 flew into a rage over a few taunts. Fang Rulong, you're courting death. Fang Rulong was more than willing to confront Changkong. You want to fight me? Bring it on. If you're not afraid to die, then come at me. A piece of trash like you, I can annihilate with just one hand. That's not right, all the trash from the Qin family. I can annihilate all of you with just one hand. Hearing this insult, he flew into a rage and declared, I'm going to kill you. Yeah, kill him, beat him to death. Watching this childish squabble, Qin Nan could only frown judgmentally. Seeing the commotion, Fang Lai sternly shouted silence. He directly warned them, anyone who makes another sound will be immediately disqualified. Changkong still wanted to retaliate against Fang Rulong's taunts. You'd better pray you don't meet me in the arena, because if you do, I'll definitely kill you, you piece of trash. Fang Lai cleared his throat and pointed to the observation platform. Everyone, I would like to solemnly introduce to you all. She and Bai Heng were sitting side by side on the high platform. These 2 are Elder Gong Su and Elder Bai Heng, sent by the Xuanling sect. He stood up, crossed his arms, and urged. It is your honor to participate in the Xuanling sect's recruitment assessment. That is all I have to say. Fang Lai, begin at once. The old man respectfully bowed and accepted the order. Fang Lai then officially announced in a clear voice, the selection begins. I now declare the Xuanling sect's disciple recruitment assembly officially open. Standing on the stage, Fang Lai pointed to the lottery box and gave instructions. Now, we begin the first stage, the martial combat tournament. I'm sure you all know the rules. Come up to the stage one by one to draw lots. The matchups will be number 1 versus number 20. And so on. The crowd quickly lined up to draw their lots. When it was Qin Nan's turn, he decisively drew a slip, opened it, and saw the word printed boldly on it. Just then, Qin Chen walked over and asked Son, what number did you get? Qin Nan smiled and replied number 1. It seems you'll be the first one to enter the arena. Xiao Qin excitedly ran over to cheer him on. Go, young master, you'll definitely become a disciple of the Xuanling sect. Qin Nan gently patted her head and replied, don't worry. He confidently declared becoming a Xuanling sect disciple is already in the bag for me. Just then, Changkong appeared behind him and sneered. Haha, a piece of trash like you wants to become a Xuanling sect disciple. What a foolish dream, Qin Nan retorted with a smirk. Looks like your bones are itching for another beating, huh? I don't mind helping you loosen them up again. Changkong was so angry veins bulged on his forehead, and he wanted to curse you, but knowing that empty words were useless, he could only say to himself, Qin Nan, just you wait, after I become a disciple of the Xuanling sect, I will kill you. At that moment, Fang Lai announced the first match will now begin. Will the disciples who drew number 1 and number 20 please come to the stage? To begin the duel. Hearing the command, Qin Nan leaped onto the stage. The person with number 20 was startled to see him. Number 20 was none other than Qin Hai. His face turned pale with fear as he stammered, Qin Nan. How can it be you? Qin Nan calmly retorted, and why can't it be me? The boy's expression darkened as he thought to himself. This Qin Hai often slandered me in the Qin family, and during the last disciple assessment, he repeatedly mocked me. Is this instant karma? Suddenly, an impatient voice from the high platform urged, stop dawdling and get started already. Bai Heng thought with disdain, this level of fighting is a complete waste of time, utterly uninteresting. In Linshui City, aside from Zhang Kong and Fang Rulong, the other disciples are all trash not worth watching. Qin Nan stepped closer like a descending demon. Let's begin. Qin Hai retreated in fear. Qin Nan, you stay away from me. He kept reassuring himself, calm down, even though my cultivation is no match for his. There must be a way. Suddenly, Qin Hai's eyes lit up. I've got it. He immediately resorted to psychological tactics. Qin Nan, how about you concede this match? As long as you forfeit. Once I become a disciple of the Xuanling sect, I can give you countless benefits, and let you live a life of wealth and luxury. Despite this, he spoke with his usual contempt. In terms of cultivation, I'm not your match, but you're just a piece of trash with a yellow-grade first-rank martial soul, destined for your entire life. To never have a chance to enter the Xuanling sect, you might as well give this opportunity to me, and I'll definitely repay you 100-fold then. Qin Nan was annoyed, and slapped him across the face, yelling, noisy, with a single palm strike. Qin Nan sent Qin Hai flying off the stage. Qin Hai was thrown far away, his body even bouncing a few times. The referee loudly announced the result. Qin Nan wins. Bai Heng also noticed him at this moment, thinking in surprise, is that the 5th layer body tempering realm, the greater success stage of one with the saber. Gong Su was also surprised. This disciple recruitment ceremony is a bit interesting. The surrounding disciples exclaimed in shock and tension, Qin Nan's cultivation has reached the 5th layer body tempering realm. Isn't Qin Nan a piece of trash? How is this possible? On the other side, Fang Lai and Fang Rulong widened their eyes in vigilance. Qin Nan has cultivated to the greater success stage of one with the saber. Even in my Fang family, there are only 2 people who have cultivated to the greater success stage of one with the weapon. Isn't this Qin Nan just a piece of trash with a yellow-grade first-rank martial soul? How can he have such a terrifying promotion speed? After his initial surprise, Bai Heng's face darkened. The Qin family has such a peerless genius, and this Fang Lai dared to hide it from me. He radiated a murderous aura. Staring at Fang Lai from a distance, terrifying the old man, Fang Lai hurriedly bowed and explained, Elder Bai Heng. This Qin Nan is the young master of the Qin family. He had an extraordinary talent for martial skills since he was young, even creating his own martial skill in his teens, but the martial soul he awakened was only a yellow-grade first-rank martial soul. He achieved this level of cultivation because he had a fortuitous encounter in the mountains. When the surrounding disciples heard this, they sneered contemptuously. So it was a fortuitous encounter. I knew it. No wonder he advanced so quickly. Fang Rulong also relaxed, thinking to himself, so it was just a lucky break, Qin Nan. So what if your cultivation is at the 5th layer body tempering realm? So what if you've reached the greater success stage of one with the saber? A yellow-grade first-rank martial soul. You're just like Zhang Kong, destined to be trampled under my feet, destined to be crushed beneath my feet. Hearing this, Bai Heng was disgusted. So it's just a yellow-grade first-rank piece of trash. Continue the matches. Fang Lai quickly agreed. Yes, the next match was Qin Tieshu versus Fang Dahai. The result was Fang Dahai's victory. Next up was Qin Danner versus Fang Xilong, and in the end, Qin Danner won. For the 4th match, the referee excitedly shouted, next, Fang Rulong of the Fang family versus Qin Lu of the Qin family. Cheers echoed from all around. Young Master Fang Rulong is finally taking the stage. The young master is the number 1 genius of our Fang family. He'll definitely become a disciple of the Xuanling sect. Zhang Kong snorted contemptuously. Just Fang Rulong, is he even worth this much attention? The one who will become a disciple of the Xuanling sect is obviously me. He thought to himself, I've already been confirmed as a future disciple of the Xuanling sect. Attending this selection tournament today is just a formality. Fang Rulong, what makes you think you can compete with me? Facing Fang Rulong was a tense Qin Lai. He calmly released his powerful spiritual energy, provoking him, trash like you. What right do you have to fight me? I'll give you two choices now, either surrender or be crippled by me. Qin Lai swallowed nervously in fear. This aura is terrifying. Qin Changkong and the Qin family disciples cursed angrily. How arrogant and unruly. Does Fang Rulong really think he's the #1 genius of Linshui City? So arrogant, truly conceited, Qin Lai stomp him to death. Fang Rulong released his killing intent and threatened, I'll give you 5 breaths to think it over. 1, 2, 3. The echoing sound made Qin Lai tremble in fear. As Fang Rulong counted to 4, his face looked like a demon ready to strike. When the number 5 rang out, Qin Lai hurriedly begged, I surrender, I choose to admit defeat. But before he could get off the stage, Fang Rulong rushed forward and punched him hard in the face. In an arrogant tone, he said, too late. Qin Lai was slammed hard into the wall, his body stuck in the hole it created, and a terrifying silence fell over the area. Fear was evident on everyone's faces. Fang Rulong calmly declared, in my presence, trash has no right to surrender. As long as you're trash, you don't deserve to live in this world. You must become a cripple for me. The other disciples simultaneously condemned him. This Fang Rulong is too outrageous. He actually dared to cripple a disciple of our Qin family. This is undoubtedly a slap in the face to our Qin family. He doesn't respect our Qin family at all. Qin Chen angrily turned to question Fang Lai. What is the meaning of this, Fang family? It's just a martial arts competition. Do you really need to cripple someone? Fang Li replied smugly, Patriarch Qin. What you've said is incorrect. First, this competition is a matter of life and death. Second, I agree with Fang Rulong's methods. In this world, trash has no right to exist. So they deserve to be crippled. Qin Changkong rushed forward, pointed directly at Fang Rulong's face, and cursed, good, very good, if your Fang family is going to act like this. Then today I'd like to see just what level your Fang family disciples are at. Just then, an authoritative voice echoed from the high platform. All right, that's enough arguing. Bai Heng sat calmly and spoke in defense. I think Fang Rulong's actions were very correct. Trash should be beaten until they become useless. They deserve to die. The people from the Qin family were all horrified. Unable to believe he would say such a thing, Bai Heng made his stance clear. Fang Rulong is now someone I have my eye on, your Qin family. If you dare to seek revenge, then don't blame me for being merciless. You'd better understand, this clearly for me. A small Qin family is nothing but an ant in my eyes. The disciples hurriedly changed their tune and began to flatter him, Elder Bai. What this disciple said just now was wrong. Elder Bai, please don't misunderstand. I guarantee the Qin family will absolutely not seek revenge on the Fang family. Elder Bai is right. How could a disciple possibly seek revenge? With a personality like Fang Rulong's, everyone naturally supports him. That's very true. For Fang Rulong to have such a heart for the martial path is truly rare. Bai Heng praised with satisfaction. Not bad. All of you from the Qin family know your place. Qin Changkong, perform well. I have high expectations for you as well. Qin Changkong hurriedly cupped his hands and bowed. Qin Changkong will use his full strength. He thought to himself, this is great. As long as Elder Bai Heng isn't angry, what does it matter if Fang Rulong cripples a few Qin family disciples? Only Gong Su thought with disgust. These Qin family people really know how to suck up. Seriously, Xiao Qin, standing behind Qin Chen, saw their cowardice and cursed, what a shameless bunch. Gong Su glanced at Qin Nan, curious about what he would do. She only saw that his face was now as black as the bottom of a pot, looking extremely angry. Fang Rulong casually provoked him, young Master Qin Nan, you are nothing but a piece of trash with a yellow-grade first-rank martial soul, using such a murderous gaze. To look at our Fang family, are you planning to rely on your meager cultivation to attack our Fang family disciples? As expected, Bai Heng stepped in to defend him. Is what Fang Rulong said true? Qin Nan bowed and replied, Elder Bai Heng, this humble one has absolutely no intention of seeking revenge. I believe young Master Fang Rulong has misunderstood. If I have disturbed young Master Fang Rulong, I apologize to him. Bai Heng was pleased, his words seeming like praise but carrying a layer of mockery. It's fine, although you are trash, you know how to conduct yourself. We'll let this matter go. Next, continue the competition. Qin Changkong was smug on the side. It seems I should change my approach a bit. After I become a disciple of the Xuanling sect, I won't need to take his life. At that time, just crippling his cultivation will be enough. Thinking this way, Qin Nan will even be grateful for my mercy in not killing him. The authoritative voice rang out again. The competition continues. Qin Nan versus the Fang families. Fang Yu, with a yellow grade 4th rank martial soul, and at the second layer of the body tempering realm, arrogantly challenged, Qin Nan, you should just surrender, after all, you're just a piece of trash with a yellow grade 1st rank. Fang Rulong, with his yellow grade 4th rank martial soul and 2nd level body tempering realm, he arrogantly challenges Qin Nan, telling him to just surrender since he is nothing but a yellow grade 1st rank piece of trash. A martial soul of that rank has absolutely no chance. If you surrender now, you can at least save some face. Just as he uttered those last 2 words, Qin Nan rushed forward and, in the blink of an eye, eliminated his enemy with a single slash. Fang Yu immediately collapsed to the ground. Seeing this, Fang Lai was utterly enraged, his eyes wide. What? Fang Yu? How dare you kill Fang Yu? Fang Rulong, standing nearby, was horrified by the incredible speed, thinking to himself, his slash was so fast, I'm not sure I could have blocked it. Just then, Qin Nan solemnly declared, it seems young Master Fang Rulong and I share the same philosophy. Trash has no reason to exist in this world. Besides, I've always been clear about who I like and who I hate. If someone hits me once, I'll hit them back twice, Qin Nan arrogantly declared, his gaze as cold as ice. So let me make this perfectly clear, any Fang family disciple I come across, I will kill without hesitation. His decisive and firm declaration sent shockwaves through the hall. The Fang father and son trembled with rage. Qin Nan, you, just then, Bai Heng stepped forward, puffing out his chest to question him imposingly. In the Luo Kingdom, a young master from a minor family in Linshui City, a piece of trash with a yellow grade 1st rank martial soul, dares to be insolent to me and challenge my authority. He released a dark aura that enveloped the surrounding space as Bai Heng suppressed his rage. And sternly rebuked, Qin Nan, do you have any idea what you just did? Qin Nan replied nonchalantly, without a shred of remorse, I do, I just killed a piece of trash. Young Master Fang Rulong just said it himself, trash shouldn't exist in this world. But Fang Rulong only crippled that other piece of trash, and I think that was far from enough. That's why I killed this piece of trash directly. With his sharp tongue, Qin Nan turned the situation around. Besides, Elder Bai Heng, in this disciple competition, there are no rules, and life and death don't matter. Did I violate any regulations by killing Fang Yu? Why is Elder Bai Heng so angry? Witnessing this arrogant display, Qin Changkong sneered to himself. This piece of trash actually dares to defy Elder Bai Heng's words. He's really courting death. Meanwhile, Bai Heng let out a resentful, sarcastic laugh. Good, this is the first time I, Bai Heng, have ever seen a piece of trash in the body tempering realm, a waste with a yellow grade 1st rank martial soul, dare to raise his voice at me. He furiously extended a giant hand and threatened him. Let me tell you this, my words, the words of Bai Heng, are the rules. You dare to oppose me, and I will see to it that you die today. And it won't just be you, everyone in the Qin family will die along with you. Realizing his son was in danger, Qin Chen shouted in panic, son, be careful. Just then, Gong Su's warning voice suddenly cut in, Bai Heng, haven't you made enough of a scene? Stop this at once. She sternly waved her hand through the air. Releasing a crackling stream of energy, Gong Su directly neutralized his gloomy aura. Seeing who had acted, Bai Heng turned in confusion and asked, Senior Sister Gong, what is the meaning of this? She coldly refuted Bai Heng's stance. He's not wrong. This martial competition was meant to disregard status from the start. As a disciple of the Xuanling sect, do you intend to use your power to bully someone? So what if he killed him? It's only because the Fang family disciple's cultivation was inferior, that's all. Gong Su then issued a soft but final warning. That's enough from now on, just observe quietly, do not say another word. He speculated internally, seething with jealousy, why did Gong Su suddenly intervene? Does she have some sort of relationship with this waste? It seems that no matter what happens today, Tia won't be able to kill this piece of trash. Down below, Qin Changkong was indignant, thinking resentfully, this waste provoked Elder Bai Heng and just gets away with it. On what grounds? Why does a piece of trash like him get such special treatment? Meanwhile, Qin Nan stood frozen, trembling from the overwhelmingly immense power. So this is the peak of the Scientian realm. It's terrifying, if not for the yellow grade 8th rank war god soul in my body. I'm afraid I would have been knocked unconscious immediately. He frowned, his analysis cutting through their dirty schemes. This Bai Heng guy is blatantly favoring the Fang family. He must have already colluded with them. I'm afraid the Fang family plans to use Bai Heng to pass this disciple assessment. To deal with the Qin family, and even annihilate them, Qin Nan's spirit was indomitable, and his resolve was firm. However, he possessed a yellow grade 8th rank martial soul, so a spot as a Xuanling sect disciple was already guaranteed for him. Although Bai Heng was formidable, in his eyes, he was nothing at all. I also have the war god soul, my future is limitless, how could a mere Bai Heng even compare? Since the Fang family wants to use Bai Heng to annihilate the Qin family, then I don't mind annihilating the entire Fang family. Qin Nan looked up and continued to ponder what this woman had just said. Even when Elder Bai Heng was that furious, he still had to obey. From the sound of it, this woman's status in the Xuanling sect is even more terrifying than Elder Bai Heng's. Then, Gong Su coldly ordered, continue the competition, resume the matches, finish up quickly so we can proceed to the second round. At this moment, Fang Lei lost all patience and growled, this piece of trash dared to kill a genius from my Fang family, I want him dead. Seeing this, Fang Rulong gently advised, Father, calm down, we can't act rashly. He shrewdly analyzed the current situation. The plan has changed, with Elder Xiao here, we absolutely cannot cause trouble during the first round. We just need to wait for the second round. And I will reveal my true talent, delivering a thunderous blow to the Qin family and utterly destroying them. The old man watched his son's back, then said with contempt, we'll let that piece of trash live a little longer. A moment later, the referee solemnly announced the next match, Qin Nan versus Fang Huo. He smiled sarcastically, another member of the Fang family, it seems I'm truly fated to meet them. Meanwhile, Fang Li grew uneasy, thinking, Fang Hu is the third-ranked genius of our family. Even our second-ranked genius, Fang Yu, was no match for Qin Nan, so how could Fang Huo possibly defeat him? He trembled uncontrollably. As he slowly walked onto the stage, Fang Huo's heart was heavy with utter dread. Damn it, why did I have to face Qin Nan? He mumbled to himself in despair. Even Fang Yu was killed by Qin Nan with a single slash. My strength is far inferior to his. What should I do? If I accept the fight, I will most likely meet the same fate as Fang Yu. At that moment, the cowardly Fang Hu shouted, I forfeit. But as he turned to leave, Qin Nan lunged forward and cut him down with a single strike. Witnessing this horrifying scene, the Fang family stared in stunned disbelief. Qin Nan arrogantly declared, I happen to agree with young master Fang Rulong's philosophy. Trash doesn't deserve to be forgiven, nor does it have the right to surrender. There is only one possible fate. He glanced at them and stressed his point, and that is death. The old man seethed with rage, his hatred boiling over. This piece of trash dared to kill another one of my Fang family's geniuses. I'll tear you to shreds. Next, Qin Nan faced the Fang family's fourth-ranked genius, and killed him in one blow. Then, Qin Nan faced the Fang family's fifth-ranked genius, and coldly cut him down. At the same time, Fang Rulong's eyes blazed with hatred as he viciously vowed, Qin Nan, you're impressive, truly impressive. I will remember everything you've done today, and I hope you won't live to regret it. He stood straight and retorted defiantly, save your threats. When you were crippling the Qin family disciples, did you ever stop to think this day would come? Besides, what gives you the right to threaten me? Qin Nan held nothing back, openly taunting him, if you have a problem with it, then get up here and fight me. If you don't have the guts, then shut your mouth down there. Fang Rulong, you better remember this. Who the hell do you think you are? You're just a piece of trash, and trash needs to shut its mouth. Hearing this, his blood boiled with fury, and his eyes turned bloodshot. Fang Rulong couldn't hold back his fury and lunged forward like a starving tiger. I'm gonna kill you. At that moment, the referee frantically yelled, stop. Seeing Fang Rulong charge forward aggressively, the referee sternly warned him, unauthorized fighting on the stage is prohibited, or you will be disqualified from the competition. Hearing this, he screeched to a halt. Fang Rulong gnashed his teeth in frustration. I'll let you live a little while longer. Then, the referee let out a sigh of relief and clearly announced, the first round has concluded. Will all those who have advanced please step onto the stage? The referee slowly read the registered names one by one. The ones who advanced were Qin Nan and Qin Changkong. Seeing this, the Fang patriarch grew furious and secretly held a grudge. It was all because this little bastard brutally killed our Fang family's genius, causing our Fang family to have only Fang Rulong advance. This little bastard deserves to die, but as long as Fang Rulong is here, who cares how many of you from the Qin family advance? You're all just a bunch of trash, you little bastard. The day Fang Rulong becomes a disciple of the Xuanling sect will be the day you die. Just then, he arrogantly and deliberately challenged Qin Nan. Now that the first round is over, wait until the second round. I really want to see what other skills you have. The test in this second round was extremely important. What mattered wasn't strength, but the rank of one's martial soul. Hearing this, he frowned and sneered inwardly. Is a yellow grade 6th rank martial soul all you've got? Look at you acting so smug. I have a yellow grade 8th rank martial soul. When I release it later, I'll scare the piss out of you. Beside him, Qin Changkong angrily retorted. Fang Rulong, stop with the taunts. Do you really think my Qin family has no one? Today, I really want to see what kind of martial soul you've awakened that makes you so arrogant. Before, Elder Bai Heng favored you, so I didn't dare do anything to him. Now that our Qin family has Elder Gong Su's protection, Fang Rulong still dares to be so arrogant. I really don't know where he gets the nerve. He sneered contemptuously and taunted. Since when did a petty character like you get to jump in? Feeling insulted, he angrily threatened with his aura. Are you looking to die? Seeing the tense situation, Bai Heng loudly intervened. All right, no more noise. Prepare to begin the second round, the old man calmly and briefly explained. The second round is very simple. You will release your martial souls. Bai Heng gloated and sneered inwardly. This piece of trash is relying on Gong Su's protection and dares to openly confront me. This round is the martial soul test, and this trash's martial soul is only a yellow grade first rank, nothing but garbage. At that point, Gong Su will surely stop protecting Qin Nan and the Qin family. Just then, Qin Changkong volunteered for the test. Let me go first. As soon as he finished speaking, he let out a fierce roar, releasing the white leopard from within his body. Witnessing this, she nodded and commented, yellow grade. 5th rank, a beast-type martial soul specializing in slaughter. If combined with a powerful martial skill, man and beast become one, and its power will increase by another level. Qin Changkong was overjoyed and cupped his hands in thanks. Thank you, Elder Sao. Then, he turned and directly provoked him. I've released my martial soul, now you release yours for us to see. I've already seen Qin Nan's martial soul, so I'm even more curious, as the esteemed young master of the Fang family, what kind of martial soul have you awakened? Fang Rulong's face darkened as he gave a veiled warning. Qin Changkong, remember this one thing, trash has no rights in front of me, not even the right to speak. Qin Nan smiled in agreement, remarking, my point of view is the same as brother Fang Rulong's. Hearing this, Fang Rulong flew into a rage and denied it, a piece of trash like you. Who's your brother? Get lost. Feeling left out, he stood in a corner, resentfully pointing, all of you just wait for me. When I become a disciple of the Xuanling sect, I'll definitely chop you all into 10,000 pieces. Annoyed, Fang Rulong aggressively stepped in front of Qin Changkong. So what if you have a yellow grade 5th rank martial soul? Is that supposed to be impressive? In my eyes, your martial soul isn't even worth a piece of crap, he boasted smugly. Today, I'll let you know who the #1 genius of Linshui City truly is. Without another word, Fang Rulong immediately summoned a giant, yellow grade 6th rank axe. Meanwhile, a giant axe with a deep crimson aura suddenly slammed into the ground, and the members of the Qin family were thrown back by the immense power. Only Qin Nan remained unshaken, standing tall and imposing. At this moment, Qin Shin was stunned by what was happening. This is a yellow grade 6th rank martial soul. Fang Rulong actually awakened a yellow grade 6th rank martial soul. Hearing this, Taiba was shocked and couldn't believe his eyes. How can this be? The admiring crowd from the Fang family cheered relentlessly. Oh my god, young Master Fang Rulong actually awakened a yellow grade 6th rank martial soul. Young Master Fang Rulong is the true #1 genius of Linshui City. Compared to young Master Fang Rulong, Qin Changkong isn't even worth a dog's fart. Just then, he arrogantly and grandiloquently began his opening speech. First, I'd like to apologize to everyone here. The fact that I awakened a yellow grade 6th rank martial soul was only known to the Fang family's patriarch and elders, and I kept it a secret because I wanted to give everyone a surprise. Now that the surprise is out, I, Fang Rulong, want to make an announcement here. The #1 genius of Linshui City is me, Fang Rulong, and all the other disciples are complete trash. Bai Heng laughed in satisfied approval. Good, very well said. In all of Linshui City, you are the #1 genius, and everyone else is trash. Then, he turned and cautiously asked, Elder Xiao, what do you think of this disciple? Gong Su pondered for a moment, then nodded in approval. Not bad. A yellow grade 6th rank weapon-type martial soul, focused on offense and killing. His future achievements will lead him straight to the martial ancestor realm. I didn't expect a small place like Linshui City to have such a genius. It seems this trip wasn't a waste. Meanwhile, the Qin patriarch felt his world collapsing in disappointment, never expecting Fang Rulong to awaken a yellow grade 6th rank martial soul. We're done for. The Qin family is completely done for. The heavens must want to destroy my Qin family. Bai Heng gloated, silently mocking Gong Su. Weren't you leaning towards the Qin family? Well, let me tell you, in front of the Fang family's Fang Rulong, the Qin family is absolutely nothing. At the same time, Qin Changkong stammered in panic from the shock that hit him. How could you? How is this possible? How could you possibly have a yellow grade 6th rank martial soul? I don't believe it. He didn't hesitate to utter clearly contemptuous words. Qin Changkong, weren't you just mocking me? Did you really think your yellow grade 5th rank martial soul was so impressive? Now you're the real piece of trash, you piece of trash. Fang Rulong emotionlessly attacked, declaring, in front of me, you don't even have the right to exist. At this moment, Qin Changkong pleaded fearfully, clinging to his last hope. Elder Xiao, stop him quickly. Although my martial soul's rank is lower than his, I still have a yellow grade 5th rank martial soul. I'm still a talented individual. However, Qin Changkong only received a cold stare from Gong Su. He was stunned, his face pale as he uttered his final word, genius. Then, Fang Rulong's hammer came crashing down on him. Terrified, Qin Changkong had no choice but to unleash his strongest ultimate move, the high-grade martial skill, White Tiger devouring prey, and the two streams of energy quickly collided. Even so, Fang Rulong's hammer was still superior, causing his soul energy to dissipate in an instant. Qin Changkong was severely shocked, spat out blood, and panicked. He hurriedly knelt on the ground and begged pathetically, Brother Fang, young Master Rulong, I beg you, don't kill me, just please don't kill me. I'll do anything you say, just don't kill me. I'm willing to be your workhorse. His face was cold as he flatly refused. You're not worthy, the vicious Fang Rulong struck without hesitation. Die. Seeing the situation was beyond saving, Qin Changkong froze, giving up all hope. Just then, Fang Lai suddenly spoke up to stop him. Fang Rulong, no need to kill him. This piece of trash can still be of use to our Fang family, so keep him alive. You're about to become a disciple of the Xuanling sect now. Even if you gave him 10 times the courage, he wouldn't dare to cause trouble anymore. As soon as the words were spoken, Fang Rulong immediately retracted his power. In just a few seconds, all the soul energy vanished. He joyfully kowtowed in gratitude, and didn't forget to swear an oath. Thank you, Patriarch. I, Qin Changkong, will absolutely never betray the Fang family. I will wholeheartedly dedicate myself to the Fang family. Seeing this cowardly act, Qin Shin was so furious he was speechless. You people, the Fang Patriarch gloated with a triumphant smile. Qin Shin, you never expected this, did you? Our Fang family has been patient for so long precisely to deal with your Qin family, and originally, with our strength. It was enough to destroy your Qin family, but I didn't want that. I want to defeat you, to completely destroy the Qin family, and make the people of your Qin family come work like animals for us. Like horses for our Fang family, Fang Lai sneered and threatened in a low voice. Now I'll give you one last chance, follow Qin Changkong's example, and leave the Qin family. And join our Fang family. If you don't join, he cruelly delivered his final verdict, kill them without question. At that moment, Taiba cautiously stepped forward and announced, Patriarch Fang, my son, Qin Changkong's choice also represents my own. I am willing to join the Fang family and dedicate myself to it. Hearing this, a series of Qin family members agreed, turning their backs on their own clan. That's right, I'm willing to join the Fang family. Damn it, I've wanted to leave the Qin family for a long time. Thank you, Patriarch Fang, for giving us this chance. This old man will definitely serve the Fang family with utmost devotion until the day I die. Watching these traitors switch sides so quickly, Xiao Qin cursed angrily, a bunch of ungrateful dogs. Qin Chen's heart sank, and he could only sigh in silence. The old man smugly taunted, because of a single word from me. Everyone has betrayed you, do you understand now? Your Qin family is nothing but a bunch of trash. He glared furiously. You... The Fang Patriarch arrogantly sneered, what's this? Do you disciples still want to stay with the Qin family? Hearing this, they were stunned into silence. He imperiously gave a final ultimatum. I'll give you one last chance now. Join our Fang family, or else. I'll make you wish you were dead. Seeing their hesitation, the Fang family members aggressively urged them, you pieces of trash. The Patriarch is giving you a chance to join the Fang family. What are you dawdling for? That's right, get over here now. Do you want to stay with the Qin family and wait to die? I think you're tired of living. If you don't come over, this elder will be the first to kill you. At that moment, Qin Shin sighed with worry and ordered, your attitude has made me very happy and relieved. Now go, the Qin family is finished. A loyal disciple quickly stated his position. Patriarch, you don't need to say any more. I'm not going anywhere. He proudly declared his heroic resolve. The Qin family has shown me kindness. How could I betray them? A man lives his life not to conquer the world, but to have a clear conscience. I have but one humble life. So what is there to fear in death? I am a member of the Qin family, and we should live and die together. Faced with such righteousness, the disciples shouted in unison. Live and die together. Just then, Fang Rulong narrowed his eyes and sneered loudly. What a fine live and die together, truly well said. But what the hell are you? You're a bunch of trash, and trash has no right to live and die together. In a little while, I'll make you wish you were dead. He turned his attention to the boy standing silently to the side. Fang Rulong calmly announced his revenge. Qin Nan, your past actions against my Fang family. That wild arrogance, I remember it all. But I'm not in a hurry to kill you now, because I want you to witness with your own eyes as I become a high and mighty disciple of the Xuanling Sect. Once I become a disciple of the Xuanling Sect, I'll let you experience what true cruelty is. After hearing this, the boy's expression didn't change, and he remained silent. He respectfully asked with a meaningful smile, Esteemed elders, I wonder if I have the qualifications to become a disciple of the Xuanling Sect. Furthermore, upon becoming a disciple of the Xuanling Sect, I have one request. I hope the two elders can suppress the people of the Qin family, so I can kill them all in one go, to show you both the power of my martial soul. Seeing this, the Qin family disciples gritted their teeth and clenched their fists. Gong Su frowned and gently reminded him, Fang Rulong, you can indeed become a disciple of the Xuanling Sect. But after you become a disciple, you should transcend worldly affairs. Why insist on this mortal slaughter? In time, it will affect your martial heart and create a negative influence. A second later, Bai Heng disagreed, immediately retorting, Elder Gong, I must disagree with what you've said. Fang Rulong's martial soul is inherently focused on attack and slaughter. Besides, the Qin and Fang families are enemies. If the Qin family is not eliminated, it won't be good for junior brother Fang Rulong's cultivation. Furthermore, junior brother Fang Rulong is a disciple of the Xuanling Sect. So what's the big deal about killing a few mortal trash? He added bluntly, Elder Gong, Fang Rulong has awakened a yellow grade 6th rank martial soul. His entry into the sect is already set in stone. Are you still going to protect these mortals, instead of helping a disciple of our own sect? If word of this gets out, I'm afraid it won't be good for your reputation. Seeing this, she flew into a rage and sternly rebuked him. Bai Heng, why must you be so sarcastic? I'm telling you today, I will protect the Qin family, and I must protect the Qin family. Bai Heng, if you have the guts, then make a move and let me see it. Seeing he couldn't win the argument, the old man dropped his challenging expression. Elder Gong, calm down. I was just joking. However, Bai Heng was suspicious inwardly, silently observing the situation. I didn't expect that at a time like this. Gong Su is protecting the Qin family so fiercely. Could she have some connection with that piece of trash? At that moment, Qin Nan seized the opportunity. He decisively proposed, Esteemed elders, I have a question, she curiously said in a soft voice. Qin Nan, go ahead and ask, he then calmly and directly questioned. I want to ask Elder Bai Heng, is it true that as long as one becomes a disciple of the Xuanling Sect, they can annihilate other families at will, specifically the secular mortal families that you people speak of? The old man arrogantly affirmed in a loud voice, of course, Xuanling Sect disciples are naturally superior. Secular mortals are like insignificant insects, so what if they die? Qin Nan nodded, having gotten the information he needed, and then made his next point. I see. Elder Bai Heng, I have one more question, and I hope you can give me an answer. The old man, losing his patience, asked irritably, what question? He pointed his finger, bluntly exposing the blatant favoritism. The second round of the competition is clearly supposed to be judged after. Everyone has released their martial souls so the results can be evaluated. So why is it that after Fang Rulong released his, while I still haven't, and two others also haven't gone, he was directly made a disciple of the Xuanling Sect? Gong Su sternly and firmly denied it. Stop causing trouble. This competition no longer needs to proceed. Fang Rulong is indeed qualified to become a disciple of the Xuanling Sect. Qin Nan retorted fiercely, Elder Gong, I disagree. This competition is not over at all, and according to the competition rules, this match should continue. At the very least, all of our martial souls need to be released and compared one by one to determine a winner. Right now, the competition isn't over, so it's not yet certain that Fang Rulong will become a disciple of the Xuanling Sect. Hearing this, the traitor's faces turned pale. Not daring to utter a sound, he burst out laughing excitedly. Well said, Qin Nan is absolutely right. The competition isn't over yet. My yellow grade 6th rank martial soul might not even be the highest. Fang Rulong requested in a deep and formal tone, Elder Gong, I hereby request that this competition continue. At this, Bai Heng smirked cunningly. Indeed, it should continue, otherwise we might overlook an even more formidable genius. and that would be an irreplaceable loss. Besides, a competition must be fair. Afterwards, she scowled and reluctantly conceded, but not without a stern warning. All right? Since you want fairness so badly, then you'll get fairness. Today, I'd like to see for myself just what kind of martial soul you've awakened. But I will no longer protect you. Whatever the outcome, you'll bear it yourself. He gloated and cunningly threatened to himself. Qin Nan, you insect-like piece of trash. Without Gongsu's protection, let's see how I'll play you to death. And the Qin family, I'll wipe them all out. The old man eagerly gave a cold instruction while cursing inwardly. Resume the competition. The rest of you. Release your martial souls one by one. This elder is extremely curious to see if anyone today can surpass a yellow grade 6th rank martial soul. That piece of trash Qin Nan actually dared to talk back to Gongsu. Later, without her protection, I'll definitely chop him into a million pieces. The two traitorous contestants, trembling in fear, announced in unison. I forfeit too. He gloated and jeered loudly. Qin Nan, the two geniuses of your Qin family have both forfeited. You're the only one left. What are you spacing out for? Hurry up and release your trash martial soul. A piece of trash with a yellow grade 1st rank martial soul. I don't know where you get the confidence to demand fairness. Besides, you even said it's not certain that I'll become a disciple of the Xuanling sect. So today, I'd like to see what skills you have to back up such bold words. The crowd, seizing the opportunity, sneered and mocked. Does he even need to release his martial soul? Qin Nan's yellow grade 1st rank martial soul. Several of us have seen it with our own eyes. His martial soul is like a saber, a yellow grade 1st rank saber. What a piece of trash. He's just asking for humiliation. No wonder even Elder Gong is unwilling to protect him. Bai Heng, excited, quickly urged him on. Qin Nan, stop wasting time. Hurry up and release your martial soul, or you'll be disqualified. At that moment, he let out an excited, soft laugh. Heh. Qin Nan, having suppressed so much resentment in his heart, whispered with a hidden meaning. Do you have any idea how long I've waited for this day? Seeing his calm demeanor, the crowd was terrified. He then shouted with fierce determination, a yellow grade 1st rank martial soul, you say. Today, I will let you all witness my true martial soul. Qin Nan then unleashed his full power for them to behold. War God before their eyes, a colossal power of dazzling orange gold light appeared, and a terrifying aura emerged. He majestically and firmly declared, a yellow grade 6th rank, the War God's soul, will show you who the real piece of trash is. Witnessing the magnificent scene, everyone was stunned speechless. Qinchin was overjoyed, his eyes shining brightly, never expecting that his son would actually possess a yellow grade 6th rank martial soul. Heaven truly has not abandoned our Qin family. Then, an excited Taiba nodded in approval, a yellow grade 6th rank martial soul, no wonder. The young master was able to comprehend the grand completion realm of one with the blades so quickly.